Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox has the story.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox writes at PJ Media.
Eat Tucker.
And that was your last.
Damn it, man. I cried for 2 days.
Megan, thank you very much for that.
So, I can explain the bed thing.
If you don't show up and vote, up your ass. I don't care if you're in the hospital. Crawl to the stake. Crawl there.
It's like Jesus going into the temple. He's like, I got a whip. Get out! Get out! The lovely and wonderful Megan Fox. Not that one.
Not that one. Not the weird one that drinks blood in his toe thumbs.
Megan Fox.
Megan. And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
She's the devil.
Megan.
Megan Fox.
Megan.
Megan Fox.
I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
You've never met a like me. You want to tangle? You want to go? Holy sh!
Too much cussing on this. I guess we didn't bleep it, so we got to turn it off. But it's.
You pissed off the wrong woman.
Oh my God! I have been assaulted, but Megan Fox runs wild on you, brother.
She's the devil. Not for publication.
The story.
I'm Megan Fox. Thank you. Cheers.
Well. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Welcome back from all the Christmas chaos and the New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. 2024 is come in with a bang here in Rochester anyway. There was a terrible accident or attack last night. Did you see this? Some guy got in his truck and ran at and filled it full of gasoline cans. It's unbelievable. And ran it towards a crowd of people coming out of the Kodak Center from a concert. And instead of hitting the people, he hit an Uber that happened to pull out in front of him, killed the people in the Uber, and exploded. Yikes. Yikes, man. Yikes. There's video of him running out of the car on fire. It's intense. Anyway, it's being investigated as a terror attack. It sounds to me like a person with a mental disorder who left like a suicide note and also, oh, God dang it. It's 4 minutes in and I've said the S word. YouTube, I didn't mean to. Yeah, I know. Horrible, terrible. But, a lot of people were saved because that Uber was in the way. Unfortunately, the people in the Uber didn't make it. But he was about to go into the crowd. So, look, all I can say is whatever happened to peace on earth and goodwill toward all men? If you're going to take yourself out, can you please not take other people with you? People who don't want to go. Yeah. Can you please just go by yourself? I don't understand it. I really don't. Vice's Raid. Welcome, Vice's Raid. Some people are just angry. Yeah, I know, but could you be angry just with yourself and not pull innocent people into it? Imagine starting out the new year like that, losing family members. Thank you, sweetheart. Could I talk you into getting me another one in one of these?
One of what?
Coffee, because I'm going to be done with this in like 5 minutes. Could you rinse that out and just put more in there?
Yeah.
Thank you. You okay?
Tired.
I'm tired. The kids have to get ready to go back to school tomorrow. So today they're up and doing their chores right now. Did you get to the chickens?
Violet's doing.
Okay. Make sure that she gets the eggs, though.
I will.
And watch her. Watch her. Okay. Thank you, dear. Yeah. Need more caffeine. Caffeine. Caffeine? Caffeine. Did I say caffeine?
What kind of drug is that?
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Anyway, so what are we talking about today? We're not talking about crazy people in Rochester, even though that is weird. And I wanted to bring it up because nothing ever really happens here in Rochester. This mug is not in the merch store. Someone bought this for me. They found it somewhere, but it's great, isn't it? I actually don't remember where I got this, but on the inside it says, "Hello, Foxy." Isn't it cute? It's so cute. Did you get to the chickens? That's real life chores right there. Oh yeah, and they haven't been doing their chores at all. I've been doing them. So it's time for them to start doing their own chores. Oh, Spawn. Spawn. Dang it. I forgot to tell her there's corn she needs to take up there too, and I don't know if she took the corn up. All right. Your grandbabies have another week off. Oh, I wish. When did we get to the point in America where we only get 1 week at Christmas? What is this Grinch calendar about? Yeah, I call her Spawn. That's not actually her name. That's so I don't dox my children online. They all have nicknames. And Spawn's the oldest. And I call her that because she's literally like she spawned off of me. Like we're twins. It's really hilarious. We only got 7 days, and I think that sucks. I think we need 2 weeks, 2 weeks at Christmas. And instead, what they do is they give us the 1 week at Christmas, and then we get another week in February. But who the hell wants a vacation in February? I can't take them anywhere. Could we just have our 2 weeks at Christmas? Did I just say Christmas? I felt like I said Christmas. All right. Getting back to what we are actually talking about here today. By the way, if you haven't been here before, my name is Megan Fox. I am I'm a journalist. I write stories. I write at pjmedia.com. I write columns, usually opinion columns. Sometimes we do some journalism here, and most of the time, I come here and just tell you my thoughts on things. Today, we've been covering the Maya Kowalski case here. Now, everything on this channel, I should just say right off the bat, is my opinion. I'm entitled to have my opinion, even if that opinion is negative about some bad lawyers who I have lovingly called the Dick Defense. J. Hatch, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, they have some attorneys that... Wait, that gets overwhelming. That's what it sounds like in the Heart Institute, or at least that's what it did sound like there a few years ago. The attorneys that J. Hatch has hired leave a lot to be desired, if you ask me. I think that they are, I think they're no good. And I'm allowed to have that opinion. All right. Unhung Hero says, thanks for the super chat, by the way. Where's my little soundboard? They can't let kids away from the indoctrination camp for too long. They might start thinking for themselves. True. Good point. Good point. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. And, since I've had so much time off, yeah, the bank account's looking a little thin. But I know you're all taxed after Christmas. So don't worry about it. I'm here. We'll get through it. All right. Oh, you found some of these mugs on eBay? Tag Hello Foxy mug. Oh, fun. I think it was probably like a TJ Maxx find if I could guess. Oh, Locals. Yeah, don't forget Locals. It's open. There's a live chat over there. It's happening right now. Locals, meganfox.locals.com. Let's see. Is anybody in there? My chat's not working. Why isn't my chat working? All right, so I've noticed. Oh, there we go. I've noticed that sometimes you have to refresh the chat to make it work. All right. Any info on the crash? Yeah, I think I went over that. Susie Q. The only info I have on it so far is that it's being investigated as terrorism, but they did find a suicide note in the guy's hotel room. He was staying nearby. So I'm thinking probably not terrorism, just some random psycho. All right, Locals is open. Rumble is going. I forgot to tell my Rumble guy that I'm live on Rumble, and he always wants me to do that. So before we get to this motion, let me just text Justin over at Locals. Justin, I'm live. Because then he'll put it up on the homepage, which is always nice. All right, how do I do this? Trying to figure out how to use the Locals app. No, Rumble app. Copy. The heck is this? This is fascinating, isn't it? It's good programming. Aren't you glad you showed up for this? Thank you, dear. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Oh, and did you put the corn in the chicken feed?
No.
Because we bought 2 bags of feed and a bag of corn.
I did not put the corn in there because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do with that.
Yeah, I was gonna mix it in. Do you know where the corn is?
In the back of Dad's truck.
Ah, darn it. Okay, so we'll have to do that when he comes home.
Oh, okay. I was like, why is that a bad thing?
Well, because we can't put it in the.
I didn't realize he wasn't home.
Yeah, he's not. He went into work. All right. All right, done. I got it done. All right, 452 of you here. Make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe if you are not subscribed. And you could become a member on YouTube if you want to be a member, or you could become a member on Locals, which I would highly recommend because we're very active over there. We have live chats going every single day. It is so fun. We spent the holidays together over there, and it's corn. It's corn. And Rumble, how are you over there? Rumble is there. Hit that thumbs up, everybody. Make sure we do that. All right, let's get over to the new motion. This is the new motion from the Dick defense. Oh, let's see. Well, Rogue Mama, thank you so much. Gifted of a membership. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. One of you, whoever got that should thank her for the Fox membership. Welcome to the Fox Den, whoever it is. Let's see. James Shart says, thanks for the super chat. Not to defend J Hatch, but a lawyer's job is to defend their client's interests. J Hatch has screwed the pooch so hard, their lawyers have to try dumb stuff. Okay, look, I'm glad you said this. I'm really glad you said this because I wanted to bring that up, actually. I wanted to say we're very critical here of Johns Hopkins lawyers. Very critical of Howard Hunter and Ethan Shapiro and their kind of tactics and the things that they do. However, I will give them this. There were several legitimate things that they did. Things that I thought was completely legitimate. Like, for instance, in their initial motion for remittitor, I am sure that some of those amounts could be brought down. And I think it's totally legitimate to argue for it because, they made their arguments that this goes beyond a normal standard. And so the judge should, maybe the jury didn't take into consideration. I thought that they did a bad job, by the way, explaining to the jury that punitive damages would come after the first award. I think it's possible the jury thought that they were putting punitive damages into the what's the other word I'm looking for? Not punitive, but the other damages. My brain's not working. I haven't done this in a while, and my brain's not working. But you know what I mean. It's possible that they rolled it into one. So it's possible they didn't understand that they were going to get compensatory. Thank you, IT Goatee. Compensatory damages. It's possible they didn't understand the difference between the two. It's possible. And if that's the case, they weren't allowed to explain it, which was weird. Why wouldn't you explain that? It just seems strange to me that you wouldn't tell the jury, this is for compensatory damages. We will get to the punitive damages after you decide this, if you decide that these particular things need punitive damages. So I think it's very possible that the jury may have gotten it a little bit wrong with the numbers. And it's totally legitimate for the attorneys to go and argue to try and bring that number down. I would expect if they were my attorneys and I was the one on the losing side, that they would do that, everything they could to get the award down. However, when it comes to dragging juror number 1 and his wife through the mud in front of the public, doxing them, taking a run at our jury system, causing intimidation. I know I feel intimidated. I ran a poll on Twitter over the weekend about, do you feel intimidated because of what Jay Hatch's lawyers did as a member of a possible jury? Does it intimidate you? Or are you still going to go for jury duty? 83% of you said, yes, I feel intimidated. That's a problem. And it's something that Jay Hatch really should have thought about, and their attorneys should think about, especially as members of the bar. You're a member of the bar. You're a person who you're supposed to uphold the law. You're supposed to respect the law and our jury system, and they clearly don't. They are just and this motion shows it. So thanks, James, for reminding me that I did want to say that, because it's not that everything they have done is bad or wrong. It's not everything, but it's the stuff they have done that's bad is so over the top that it just doesn't make up for any of this, Matt Bond says, I think Jay Hatch lawyers will be at McDonald's soon. Well, if they go to work for McDonald's corporate, they'll have good jobs, but I don't know. Do you mean flipping burgers? I already got this one. Thank you, James. And Matt says, won't someone please think of the chickens? I lost a chicken the other day. She just I don't know, keeled over and just died for no reason. And now one of the other chickens is not looking so good. So I don't know if they have the bird flu or whatever. It's over. It's winter. I'm not getting new chickens. Vince Clortho, thanks for the super chat, says, tell your chickens to wait for sign, watch the dogs. Wait for a sign, watch the dogs. All right. All right, here we go. Let's bring this up here. And let's embiggen. Let's move this over here. Those of you worried about me being in Rochester or near, I'd never go anywhere near Rochester. That's just the closest city to me, but I'm way outside. So don't worry about me. There's no reason I would ever be in Rochester. Literally none. Yes, Hangry, can I help you? Do you need something?
Yeah, I was trying to get hungry. I kind of needed an egg.
Oh, you want an egg?
Yeah.
Okay, well, your sister can make you one. I'll text her. I like your Lorax mustache, yes.
I thought about this. I'm like, while you're on stream, maybe they won't know who I look like.
No, you're not getting on stream. The mustache doesn't cut it. Sorry.
I'll just...
No. Can I have it? Let me see.
The mustache.
Where did you get this? Here, let's see. It's not sticky anymore.
No,
it's all sweaty. Gross. Take that out of here.
It's fuzzy.
Oh, I had it on upside down.
You have to put it on. You have to push it on you.
It's a Lorax mustache, yes. All right, go. I'll tell your sister to make you an egg. Close my door, please, darling. Thank you. Sorry, guys. It's still Christmas break. One more day. I had that on upside down. All right, I have to text Spawn. Please make your brother an egg. An egg on toast. Locals is enjoying hangry. The mustache doesn't cut it, son. He thought that he could come on here with just the mustache and no one would be able to recognize him. All right, here we go. Now, this is like 30 pages, I think. This is their motion for reconsideration of scope of juror interview. They basically, this is exactly what we all thought, and this is what the plaintiffs, lawyers thought too, is they're never going to stop. And the plaintiffs argued this in the last motion. What now?
Kevin actually got me a card game.
What?
Kevin got me a card game.
Great. Why don't you go play it? That's terrific. Close the door.
Taco Cat, go.
Quit interrupting me. If I were reading a book right now, he wouldn't be anywhere near me. But because I'm on stream, he needs attention. All right. All right, hold on. All right, so the plaintiff said that the plaintiff's attorney said in their motion to the last one, they're never going to stop this. If you let this thing go, they're going to push the envelope again. If you let the next one go, they're going to push it again. They're never going to stop. And I agree. And I think this motion shows that. I think it proves that. And if I were the judge, I would never have let them get this far in the first place. But now that he has allowed it, now he has to put up with this too. Yeah, Kitty says, sounds like my house. Mom, mommy, mom. Pretty much. I've got them doing chores. They're supposed to be doing chores. I set everybody up to do chores before I did this. But they're either whipping through the chores too quickly and didn't get it done like I asked, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right. Oh yeah, speaking of Salisbury's response, can somebody tell me the document number on that? I need Salisbury's affidavit because I would like to read that, but I don't think I have. I might have it on my text, but if somebody has the document number, that would be great. Okay, we're probably not going to read through this entire thing because there's a lot of repeats. Defendant J. Hatch, by and through undersigned counsel and pursuant to the rules, files this motion for reconsideration of this court's December 20th, 2023 order, granting a limited review of juror number 1. How do you think the judge feels that he's made his order and now they're coming in to say, would you rethink that? We think you're wrong. Notice that the plaintiffs did not file a motion for reconsideration of the judge's order. The plaintiffs just accepted it. But the defense is never going to accept anything. The scope of juror number 1's interview must be expanded.
Bullshit.
Because defendant's supplemental evidence of juror misconduct, including juror number 1's material false statements on his jury form, is time. Well, I think we already. False statements on the jury form. Dude, you already got slammed on that on the last plaintiff's response. There were no false statements on the jury form, and he's still repeating it. Is timely and requires inquiry too. The interview's current scope would inadequately investigate the potential misconduct. Oh, Angela, you can send it to my email. I'll put it up on the screen. Here's my email. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Here it is. There you go. Send it to my email. The interview's current scope would, number 3. Defendant has learned of additional improper communications between juror number 1's wife and plaintiff's counsel and the jurors. I like how that is italicized. It's italicized. Improper communications between juror number 1's wife, plaintiff's counsel, and the jurors that require additional inquiry. Although the prospect of starting over with a new trial is understandably frustrating, this court cannot and must not sacrifice the integrity of the jury process in the name of expediency. Facts and procedural history. Now, I think some of this is going to be like repeats, but we'll see what we see. Yeah, Bubble says on Rumble says they've gone way beyond zealous advocacy. Yeah, that's my whole problem with it, is that it's just not This is not zealous advocacy. This is now, it's an all-out assault. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Jeff emailed it to me already. Wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate that. I had it at some point. It's just that my email is a mess. I can't find anything. So thank you, Jeff. I now can find it. All right. This is why we need Jeff. Well, Jeff's been invited, but he's probably tired. Megan just can't do the rotten born italics right. It's true. It's so true. All right. Yeah, get ready, folks. I haven't been away from my buttons for a long time.
Phrasing?
And I'm going to be pushing them. So just hang on.
Nobody cares.
All right. Juror number 1 was first to arrive at the courthouse for jury selection in this highly publicized case. Oh, really? He was first? Oh, I'll lock him up. He's obviously guilty of something. He was on time for something? That's just unacceptable.
Wrong.
He completed Sarasota County's prospective juror questionnaire falsely, answering that neither he nor a member of his immediate family has ever been the victim of a crime. No, that's not true. We already saw the jury questionnaire. He did check yes to that, to the victim of a crime, or I think it was the one that said, have you been accused of a crime or anyone charged with a crime? Maybe it was that one. But he didn't hide it. He told the judge. So this should be moot. During voir dire, juror number 1 clarified another answer by saying that he had never been charged with a crime. Right, it was the charged with a crime. But his stepson had been. Day 1 of individual voir dire, September 14th. He did not correct his earlier misstatement to explain that he and his wife had been the victims of one of his stepson's crimes. Well, it's possible that he doesn't look at himself as a victim. It could be as easy as that. Locals! Oh my God. Oh my God, he's going to love this. I have to show this to Hangry. Look at what Locals made for Hangry. It's kind of small. I can't make it bigger, I don't think. Look at it. Hangry Fox, hipster Fox. With the mustache. He's going to love that so much. Oh my gosh, guys. He's going to love it. I can't wait to show him that. Oh, man. All right. Juror number 1 was placed on jury duty and eventually served as a foreperson. Oh, neither plaintiffs nor defendant moved to strike juror number 1 for cause or used a preemptory challenge to strike him. Throughout the trial, juror number 1 has, well, whose fault is that? I mean, you could have. You're complaining now, but you could have done it with your preemptory strike. Yeah, apparently you're looked at with suspicion if you're on time to things too, folks. Be careful. Don't show up early to anything. Because the Dick defense will say that you're in on something nefarious. Of course, if it bothered them at the time, they could have struck him, but they didn't. Throughout the trial, juror number 1 was asked questions asked questions, not was asked, but he asked questions reflecting clear pro-plaintiffs and anti-defendant bias. Well, this has already been ruled on, and the judge said no. Judge Carroll said, no, you're wrong. So they continue to repeat things that the judge has already ruled on that they are wrong.
Quiet, quiet, quiet.
When do we get this?
Denied. Sit down.
I am so tired of these people. I don't understand why we don't I need old Judge Schrader. I need Rittenhouse Schrader here.
Don't get brazen with me.
I need it. I need Judge Carroll to get serious and angry with these people because this is dang. He did not demonstrate anti-defendant bias. And the judge already came to that conclusion. He said, no, he didn't. Remember when he said, I'm the closest person sitting next to this guy. I am the closest one to him. And he's been very engaged. He's been, asking good questions. Yeah, no, Schrader didn't do anything, but the yelling though, it helps my mental state. I grew up in a yelling house with my dad. Well, not my mom. My mom never yelled. She was like quiet, scary. Like she was the disciplinarian. When she got quiet, that's when you had to get that's when you should be nervous. But my dad used to scream all the time. He still does. And I'm just used to it. So it makes me feel like someone's doing something if there's yelling. So if the judge could just yell at them just once, I would feel better. Well, she says, my house is loud too. Yeah, there's a lot of, I'm the yeller here too. I'm like my dad. I can't help it. My oldest daughter has figured out how to deal with it. She's so funny. She just completely ignores me. She gives me a blank stare. And she knows that if you don't yell back, it stops. Oh, yes, that explains why I yell. I'm a yeller. Like that's just how it is. It always drives me crazy though when my kids say, "Why are you yelling?" And I'm like, "I'm not yelling. I'm just talking. This is how I talk. I'm not yelling. I'm a loud talker." All right. Kyle says, when my dad said, now, Kyle, in a low and calm voice, I wanted to run. All right. Defendant moved to disqualify juror number 1. When the motion was filed, defendant was unaware of juror number 1's wife's pro-plaintiff online activity, which, why should you be aware of it? It literally doesn't matter at all.
Skip to the end.
Or that juror number 1's wife had attended court, again, doesn't matter at all. She's allowed to do that just 3 days prior and sat with plaintiff's personal friend and advocate. Nope. Bullshit. That is bullshit.
Bullshit.
They're talking about Jules again. Jules is not a personal friend of the plaintiff. She met them at the trial. That's it. And she's allowed to advocate for whatever she wants because she's a private citizen. Of course, had defendant been aware of these facts, it would have alerted the court in its motion. At the November 6th hearing on the motion, plaintiff's counsel initially agreed to swap juror number 1 with an alternate before asking to consult with Mr. Kowalski on the decision, which he has to do because he's his client. Hearing on the motion to disqualify. After speaking with his client, plaintiff's counsel returned to the bench and told the court that Mr. Kowalski feels more comfortable with juror number 1. Had defendant known juror number 1's wife's earlier presence in the courtroom and friendship with plaintiff's advocate, they have got to stop using this word. The plaintiffs have already said multiple times through affidavits that she is not our advocate. We do not know her. We've talked to her once to say, could you move from this seat to that seat? What in the world? Yeah, poor Jules is right. She's not involved in any of this at all, but they're trying to get her phone. They want her text messages. It's insane. This is what I mean by going way beyond the scope of what the defense attorneys are supposed to do. They're trying to come after private citizens for their phone, for their data. I don't know how you could not be intimidated by this going forward. They're even intimidating the public into not watching trials. They're intimidating the public into not going into a courtroom. I hadn't even thought about that aspect. But do you think Jules is going to want to cover another trial the way she covered this one and possibly go through this again? They should absolutely be sanctioned for going after a court viewer. This is a member of the public who has every right to be in a public courtroom. How many of you would do what Jules did and possibly report in a trial? And like one of the things that some of us rely on, when we cover these trials, we rely on people on the ground to report what they see, how the jury makeup works and what it looks like and how the jury is reacting. We've used, we sometimes talk to people who are inside courtrooms. Do you think that people are going to sign up to do that after this? After watching what happened to Jules? I mean, this is an all-out assault on our entire court system, on our justice system. It's an assault on the First Amendment rights of jurors. It's an assault on the First Amendment rights of the public to watch a trial, to comment on a trial. The fact that my show shows up in this motion and other people's shows on YouTube shows up in all their motions, screenshots from our shows, this is intimidation, is what this is. The defense is coming after LawTube. The defense is coming after us too, and they're saying, we see you. And if you think it's not a little intimidating to have high-powered attorneys with your name and they're pissed at you, it is. Because it doesn't matter if we've done nothing wrong. Attorneys like that can decide to just drag you through hell for the next 10 years if they want to, by filing frivolous lawsuits. And we've seen that Jay Hatch is absolutely filing frivolous bullshit motions. But you still, if they were to drag any one of us into this, we would be forced to defend ourselves. I don't even want to think about it. It's terrifying. Vince Clortho, thanks for the super chat, says, my mom never yelled, just wait for your father to get home. No, mine was the opposite. My dad would be like, wait till your mother gets home. You're in trouble. Dad would yell, but mom had the spoon. Oh, my mom's doing a little better, by the way. She is not having as many seizures as she was having. So things are looking up on that front. That woman has been through everything. And she keeps surviving. And it's amazing because we're always like, how did she pull through this one? But she is doing a little better. So thank you to those of you who prayed for her. She is not having as bad of a time as she was. All right. The spoon. Here, this is the spoon right here. I have it. My dad gave this to me on my wedding day when he was doing his little speech. It was hysterical. One of these days, maybe I will try and pull that off of the CD that I have so I can show you guys my dad's speech at my wedding. It was an absolute riot. It was all about how this was the only way they got through my childhood. It was funny. He had a little bow tied around it. It was really cute. Oh, all right. After speaking with his client, plaintiff's counsel returned to the bench and told the court that Mr. Kowalski feels more comfortable. Okay, we got that part. The court denied defendant's motion, ruling that juror number 1's questions were not biased, and he had not come up with any final or fixed opinion on the case. And the thing that they keep on doing is they keep on pretending that if a juror starts to hate you after you've opened your mouth in a courtroom, somehow that's wrong. But it isn't wrong. You're not supposed to have any biases going into the courtroom. But once they start opening their mouths, once they start putting these bitches on the stand, remember these bitches? Like remember these women? Once they start putting these people on the stand, it's all over. And you don't like them? Well, and you start to be biased against them, that's called justice. They're judging them. You're judging who you're putting on the stand. I mean, literally, let's take a walk through memory lane to remember who they put on the stand. Remember this guy who was trying to hypnotize the jury? No one liked him. Remember this guy? Remember these two? These guys were terrible. The guy in the perno on the bottom was like, that's not my job. No, it's not my job. That's not my job to make sure little girls aren't being forcefully held against their will. Not my job. Nope. Just recall who they put on the stand. Remember this one? She had like a demon inside her. And so once you start putting these people on the stand, and then the jury decides, I don't like this. I don't like these people at all. That's you losing a case. If you don't like the jury system, well, quit practicing in a trial court then. Go to the appellate court where you just have to argue in front of judges all day long. But if you hate juries and you don't think that it's okay for them to turn against you once you open your dumb, stupid mouth, as Hangry would say, shut your dumb, stupid mouth. That's your fault. Yeah, she threw Jesus in the dumpster. Lest we forget, Jesus was thrown in the dumpster by these people, and they thought they were going to win over a jury. And chocolate cake. Let's not forget the chocolate cake. Did they not know how they came across? Because this is what everyone saw. Jesus in a dumpster. Oh, Lordy. I'm reading your chats. Melissa says, at the beginning of the trial, I thought it was great that the jury got to ask questions, but now I think it just opens the losing side to use the jurors' questions to throw out the verdict. Well, it shouldn't. I mean, but Judge Carroll is allowing it. So
wet ass P word.
That's the problem right there. That's the problem. All right, where are we at? Oh, one of you on Locals, by the way, I just wanted to say thank you to Locals. One of you sent me and posted it on my Locals page, this incredible document about investigating juries and how it works and what's legal and normal and what's not. And it was such good reading. One of these days, I'm hiccuping. One of these days, I want to go through that with you because it's really good. Oh, it was Ruby. Thank you, Ruby. It was really, I read the whole thing. It was great. But it's kind of a longer document. I don't know if we'll have time to get to it today, but it had a lot of really interesting information in it about, and I had no idea that jurors could be investigated so thoroughly. So basically the rule is before a trial, like right before you're doing jury selection or when you're doing jury selection, anybody can send a private investigator after these people to find out everything about them, including talking to their neighbors. But now, instead of doing that, they pretty much just use social media because everybody puts everything out there. And you can, and so they can, but see, the rules have been you can investigate the jury as long as they're doing it in a way that the jury member won't know you're doing it. So they won't feel intimidated, right? And this is how lawyers get their information about who they want on a jury. And it's totally something that they do. I mean, I knew what jury consultants were, but I didn't realize they were sending PIs after them. But here's the big but. This usually happens before jury selection, not after. You don't start investigating the jurors after, like, when would it end then? How long are they going to investigate the jury? It is so bad. It is so bad, you guys. It's so bad. After they, the Locals is telling me to ask Robert Barnes because he does that. I mean, I always knew there was some kind of juror investigation, but I had no idea it was so intense. None. And I didn't, and I think it's very interesting. Yeah, it's stalking. Thank you, Sarah. It's stalking. Would someone explain to me the bit about throwing Jesus in the dumpster? I'd be happy to explain this to you. During Maya Kowalski's false imprisonment in J-Hatch, this woman, let's bring her up again, who worked for DFACS or DFAX or DFS or CPS, whatever. She was an investigator, came into Maya Kowalski's room and searched through her personal belongings and found a consecrated host, which is the communion wafer. And Catholics believe that the consecrated host is the actual blood and body of Christ. She took it from her. She took holy water. She took holy oil, and she tossed them in a dumpster. So because a consecrated host has to be disposed of properly when you're supposed to give it to a priest to do that, and they didn't do that. They took it back to the CPS office, and no one could say what happened to it. So we just rightly came to the conclusion that they tossed Jesus in a dumpster. They didn't test anything. They didn't test it. They didn't send it for testing to see if it was ketamine laced, which is what they claimed it was, which is why they said they had to have it. They didn't do any testing, but it all disappeared. So where did it go? Well, it very clearly went in the dumpster. And we have footage of that. There it is. We have proof. Oh my God. Okay. 747 of you here. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. You know, we're almost at 25,000, which is pretty exciting. In fact, let's see. What are we at right now? Yep, 24,471. So only another like 500 more. Pretty interesting, pretty fun. Ketamine Christ, new band name. Yeah, make sure you hit the like. Okay, let's get back into this. Ruby says they can continue to do jury investigation after the trial as well. Can they though? Like, to what end is the question? Like, when does that end? And if that's the case, why would anyone do this? Why would anyone sit on a jury? I don't understand. I really don't understand. It's not something I want to do. Like, so now you just have these shark lawyers after you for the rest of your life? Yeah, no thanks. Lois said it ends when the judge shuts it down. Yeah, and he doesn't appear ready to do that at all. By the way, the hearing is tomorrow, starts at 3 p.m. I will be covering it live. We'll be carrying that here. It sounds like Jeff is going to go live in the morning to go through this document and some others. I might join him if he wants me there. We'll see. Not that he wouldn't want me there, but you know what I mean. Sometimes he's in a hurry. So if you're in a hurry, you can't have me around.
Quiet, quiet, quiet.
Actually, though, Jeff's pretty good at controlling me. He's one of the only people who can do it. Oh, so is recovery? Is Scott going down there again? Is he going to be there in person? Huh. Scott says hi. Well, I love Scott. Is he going to be there in person? He going? So we get to stream from his channel, his second channel. Then that's awesome. I love Scott. Actually, how come Scott didn't do this? I didn't see him read this motion yet. Has he? Did I miss it? Oh, he has Zoom access. But they don't allow you to broadcast the Zoom, though. No, he's not going down. Okay. Yeah, you can't stream. So wait, are you telling me that there aren't going to be cameras in the courtroom tomorrow? Oh, we finished reading it this morning. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I was looking for it all over the weekend and I didn't see it. So that makes sense. He did it this morning. Okay, so those of you who missed Recovery Addict today, going over it, you can... He got permission to broadcast the Zoom? Are you kidding? They told me no. They told me no. I asked and they told me no. Well, if he can broadcast the Zoom, then I should be able to do it. I'm going to have to call the clerk. Again. Oh, okay. They are going to have cameras. All right. Well, what you guys are giving me all sorts of, you know what? I got to stop reading the chat. I'm going to go back to what I'm reading because you're all giving me conflicting information. Okay, I can't look at the chat anymore. You guys are just confusing me. Stop confusing me. You know it's easy to do. Stop it. Just stop it. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, you're just getting me all worked up for no reason. Stop it. I need a stop it button on here. I don't have any stop it buttons. And I think there's a good one of Trump saying that. Where the heck?
What is my problem?
I can't find the button I'm looking for. All right. Anyway. All right. You guys are making this difficult. You're making it extra hard.
Extra large and extra hard.
All right. So there's going to be a camera. It's fine. Everybody stop. I'm going to have to turn off the chat. I'm getting distracted. Going back to the document, I'm ignoring you. The court denied defendant's motion. Okay, within 15 days of the jury's $250 million verdict, and they love saying $250 million. In plaintiff's favor, defendant moved for a new trial on several issues, including the alleged misconduct of juror number 1. The juror number 1 motion detailed extensive information learned about juror number 1 and his wife, including that during trial, juror number 1's wife sought out and befriended a woman named Jules, the notorious Jules, an outspoken plaintiff's advocate who, according to her social media posts, communicated regularly with the Kowalskis and advocated for them in person and online. So what? So what? Ugh. Juror number 1's wife shared her personal contact information with Jules, exchanged messages with her. Well, how do they know that she exchanged messages with her? Is that actually true? And on October 30th, sat next to her and chatted with her in the courtroom during the trial where her husband sat as an impaneled juror. Now, Jules has said that she did not know that juror number 1's wife was juror number 1's wife. She was just a woman she sat next to. That's it. Yes, that is Jules' First Amendment right. Absolutely. But they're coming after the rights of the public to take part in any public trial. And it's really ridiculous. And sat next to her and chatted with her in the courtroom during the trial where her husband sat as an impaneled juror. The relevant information generated by members of the public, and by that they mean Reddit. This part really pisses me off. Here we go. The extraordinary public attention on this case continues to generate highly relevant evidence. Besides broad media coverage, the case has internet superfans across the globe who spend hours each day not only watching the trial online and discussing it in chat rooms, but also searching publicly available dockets and poring over documents. Jeez, guys. Can you think of a nerdier hobby than this? Here's what I think is really funny about this. They're calling us superfans who are accessing public documents and poring over them and discussing them in chat. Like, what a bunch of nerds, man. Like, there are people out there whose hobbies include, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto. Yet here we are. I feel very called out. I feel very judged, frankly. Very judged. I mean, what is wrong with this? There are very smart people out there who are FOIA queens. Damn. I feel very, very called out. Oh, I meant the game, not the crime. But then again, there are also people who steal cars for a hobby. So, of all the hobbies we could be into, this one is one of the least harmful, I would think. We need super fan shirts ASAP. Kowalski super fan. Court superfan. Oh God, I feel very called out. I kind of feel like this is on par with Trekkies, to be honest. I just realized what a nerd I am. JH Lawyers making us feel nerdy. Viz Chlortho, thanks to the super chat, says you could collect spores, mold, and fungi. It's true. Fungi? 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 I'm actually not sure how to say that. Bus stop super fans. Oh man, bus stop super fans is a great idea. This is a good idea. Oh, I missed you guys too. I did have a good holiday, but the eating has to stop. The eating has to stop. It's just out of control, the holiday eating. I have been going to the gym though throughout all of it. So I have been working out, but the amount of eating I've been doing is not it's like equaling out the working out. So like the scale is not moving because the eating I'm just eating too much for the workout to actually combat the eating. That is going to stop though. Today, the eating has to stop. We have just been splurging on all sorts of ridiculous things. Unhung Hero, thanks to the super chat, says, I hear the super fans are mostly medium smart. Medium smart super fan. Like, I feel really nerdy getting called out like this. I also think, though, I'm really proud of us. I'm proud of us for not having crack habits. Instead, we have legal document habits. And I don't see what the big deal is. Like, why is that so upsetting to these people? It's because we've been tearing apart their arguments because we make them look stupid. I don't know. Poring over documents like we're doing right now. Taking his words apart. That's what he hates. That's what they hate. They hate me doing, Shapiro voice as I read this. Let's read this paragraph in Shapiro ASMR voice, shall we? The extraordinary public attention on this case continues to generate highly relevant evidence. Besides broad media coverage, the case has internet superfans across the globe who spend hours each day not only watching the trial online and discussing it in chat rooms, but also searching publicly available dockets and poring over documents. Like, this is so funny. Remember that meme that Locals made with Shapiro? This is Shapiro crying in the shower in the morning with the galaxy. Ethan Shapiro crying in the shower. Oh, Vince Clortho, thanks to the super chat, says I graduated just past the top of the bell curve. We have the best medium smart people in this audience. The best. Uh-huh. Sarah Adams says, FOIA, your own business. Thanks to the super chat. Oh yeah, the super fans. Dub Bears. That's right. Dub Bears. Dub Bulls. That was a great one. All those dudes sound just like my dad, by the way. He talks just like that. It's so funny. LA says, I love Megan Shapiro voice. I want 1 hour ASMR of this to fall asleep to. Tina's, thanks for the super chat, says, why do you think the judge isn't stopping all of this? Well, because he's a
wet ass P word.
There's no other explanation. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He is really trying to come off as, I think, someone with the temperament to sit on the higher court. And I think he's thinking about his career and not about the long-reaching effects of this on the jury system. Sarah says, I think Carol's balls haven't dropped yet. That's also a possibility. Could be. Could be. Oh man. Judge No Balls. He's team No Balls. We don't have to ask Judge Carroll which team he's on. Team No Balls. Oh God. Many, like Jules of the superfans, are pro-plaintiff, while others believe that the hospital has been treated unfairly. Well, that's clearly Reddit. A number of these superfans have apparently reached out to counsel on both sides. I would just like to point out for the record that I only reached out to counsel after the trial because I'm a reporter. I interview people for the news, and that's why I did it. And it was perfectly acceptable. It is perfectly fine to reach out to lawyers involved in a high-profile case. So, yeah. The court, understandably wanting to affirm that the parties' counsel are not deputizing an internet community to do... Wait, I'm just thinking. Did I send an email before the verdict? I might have. Trying to get somebody contact in the office for an interview afterwards. That could be it. But, I mean, no one ever contacted me back until after, which is totally fine. It's still totally fine. But I mean, just, it's absurd. And I know that the defense got all kinds of communications from Reddit too. So I don't know what the hell they're complaining about here. The court, understandably wanting to affirm that the parties' counsel are not deputizing an internet community to do indirectly that which an attorney is expressly prohibited to do directly, has pointed counsel to Florida Rule of Professional Conduct, which prohibits attorneys from initiating direct or indirect post-trial communications with jurors. To be clear, no one on defendant's team has initiated contact with these helpful members of the public, initiated contact directly or indirectly with jurors, or asked anyone to take any action that the attorneys could not ethically or legally take themselves. Members of the defense team have, however, received unsolicited communications from members of the public, in addition to unsolicited threats and insults. Now, don't send the defense team our memes. Stop that. You know that someone probably did. I have never reached out to the defense team. I have no desire to speak to them at all. Members of the defense team have received unsolicited and highly relevant information discovered by members of the public who studied the trial. Oh, now they're not super fans. Now they're just members of the public who studied the trial. The unusual dynamic of this case does not make... It's not that unusual. I mean, are they new? Are they new to this? Because, you know, LawTube's been around for a long time. And I can name several cases that were this big or bigger. The Johnny Depp case was bigger than this. There were way more people watching. There were hundreds of thousands of people watching at the same time. Hundreds of thousands. The Johnny Depp case was bigger than anything. The Rittenhouse case was at least as big as this, maybe bigger. There have been cases that are, it's not that unusual. There's at least 2 to 3 cases going that are huge at a time. Melanie, no, I cannot start over. You're just going to have to go back. There's at least 2 or 3 trials that happen every year that are big, that draw attention. This is not unusual. There are high-profile cases all the time. This is just a silly way to say it's unusual. It's not unusual. The unusual dynamic of this case, what is unusual is the Dick defense. They are unusual. Their strategies and what they have done in this case is unusual. I've never seen it before. I have never seen a defense team go after the jury and members of the public like this before, ever. And YouTube, never. I mean, Elaine Bredehoft kind of went after YouTube, so that was similar. She went after that umbrella guy, and remember the umbrella man? Remember? She went after Tug. And then NBC went after Tug and also other LawTubers, and Taylor Lorenz took a run at him as well. So yeah, that happened during the Johnny Depp trial. So that was similar to what's going on here, but that's the only one I know of where a defense attorney or an attorney started trying to drag in members of the public and YouTubers. So I don't like the way this is going. I got to tell you, I don't like the way that this is going, because the judge does not seem like he's going to shut it down. And these people have a grudge against YouTube, against us, against our audience. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You know, we have a right as members of the public to watch a trial and report on it, and to report our opinions on things, and to criticize attorneys, even though they don't like it. They really don't like to be criticized. But that's unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for them that they don't like criticism. But these are solidly protected opinions, Mr. Shapiro and Mr. Hunter. These are solidly protected opinions that we have about you and your behavior, about you and your case. And many of us have said positive things about the defense. I've even said a few positive things about them doing their job early on. I was like, okay, let's calm down. They're doing their job. However, they just keep ramping it up to the point where not even Law and Lumber, who was, you know, all on what great lawyers they were, he can't even keep that up anymore. They're so bad. Their behavior has been so bad that not even Rob can keep saying nice things about them. So, yeah, Sarah Dawn says, Megan, they have a grudge against a dead woman who gave her life for her child, and they still don't get it. No, they don't. They don't. It's really sad. Yeah. Yeah, I know. A lawyer, you know, has been, you know, he's very even-keeled, right? My mic sounds different. How does it sound? Is it am I on the wrong mic? I bet I am. Yep. Wait, am I? Nope. The mic is set up properly. That's a good thing you told me to check, though. Yeah, no, it's working. Yeah, so they don't like to be criticized at all, but they need to hear it, because what they're doing is very unpopular. And maybe at some point will they ever have self-reflection to be like, you know, people really don't like us, and they don't like what we've been doing. Is it possible that we're the baddies here? Are we doing it wrong? But they're never going to look into themselves and what they have done here, because they double down on stupid every time. Oh, by the way, I got an Apple Watch from my dad for Christmas, which I can't believe how much I like. I can't believe it. I didn't think I would, but I do. I love it. It's incredibly convenient. Do you guys have one of these? Well, we are Apple users here. My family are all Apple users, and the one thing they do to you when you get Apple products, it becomes like a tribe thing. So like my entire family has Apple, so we can FaceTime each other and all of that, all of that. Well, my husband's family are all Android users. So there's like a disconnect, and it sucks because you can't communicate like you can through an Apple phone with a Android phone the way you can on Apple. You just can't. You have to you have to download different apps, and you can't use FaceTime. So it just sucks. So we're just heavily invested in Apple in my family. It's like my entire family has Apple. My mom, my dad, my sisters, like everybody. So we're so much more connected. And it's just, I do like Apple products. But anyway, I'm loving this watch. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There is a function on it that my daughters and I have, they got them too. My dad splurged. He bought them all Apple Watches, or the girls and me. And and there's an app that is a walkie-talkie, and you can turn it on and like have people accept it, and then you can use your watch as a walkie-talkie no matter where they are. It's incredible. It's incredible. I know Fedorovsky says Apple is a disgusting cult. They're the only ones not playing ball with everyone else. I know. I wish I wasn't caught up in the cult, but I am. I'm caught. When you're an Apple user and you have Apple users in the family, they have wonderful products. They just do. And I'm sorry, but I love it. Yeah, Sprint had a push to talk 30 years ago. That's true. They did. But this one is nice because you can say whether or not you want it on. You know, you can't be like in the middle of a concert and someone comes over the walkie-talkie. So it's a little different. But I love it. Yeah, the fitness rings are fun. Yep, the fitness rings are fun. I've been closing my rings at the gym. In fact, I should have gone today. I think I'm going to have a new rule that I need to go to the gym before I stream, which will motivate me to get my ass out of the house. I started doing legs, and I'm very sore today, so I'm taking the day off. All right. No, I had a Samsung once and I hated it. I'll never go back. Never ever. I hated it. Yeah, I wasn't doing squats, but I was doing that machine where you do your knees like this, I don't know what you call abductors and adductors, right? Oh, I am so sore. It's like a Dick Tracy watch, you guys. It's just like the Dick Tracy cartoons come to life. It's incredible. You can talk to each other right through your watch. It's great. I love it. Slidey Pie says, I'm in the cult too, unfortunately. Upon the Horizon, what tone? Upon the Horizon says, I'd like to understand what Megan is saying, but it's difficult for me when she uses that tone. What tone?
What tone are you talking about? What tone do I have exactly?
Just kidding. All right. Here's a footnote here. Due to the holidays and previously scheduled travel plans, trial counsel does not provide supporting affidavits concurrently with the filing of this motion, but defendant will submit them before the January 3rd hearing. Oh, really? Well, when are those coming? Oh, I think they're already on the docket. I'll have to look through it. What affidavits would they have? Oh, they're going to affidavits for what they did and didn't do, the attorneys. Okay, interesting. Nor is the information untimely or waived if produced as soon as practicable in advance of the ruling on the post-trial motion. If it is relevant and substantiated, it must be considered. The extraordinary public interest in the case has prompted 3 defense supplements. Yeah, we know. They were insane. 1, first supplement, undisclosed 2002 child abuse accusation. And juror number 1 social media post. But this is all a repeat of what's in the first motion. Do we need to go through this? The domestic violence, child abuse thing. Defendant's first supplement also pointed to juror number 1's post-verdict postings on social media, including a post where he intimates that defendant's counsel and Johns Hopkins All Children's are immoral and evil. Well, if the shoe fits, I suggest you wear it. You are immoral and evil. Like what you did to this child was immoral and evil by all definitions of those words. And in fact, this woman should follow you around town.
Shame.
I want this woman with the bell following Jay Hatch around.
Shame.
She should be walking through the hallways with the shame bell.
Shame.
They threw Jesus in the trash. You're immoral. You're evil. Yes. When we're allowed to say that, that is also an opinion. That is also a protected opinion. That Jay Hatch and their attorneys are immoral and evil. That's an opinion. And you can't complain to a judge that after the verdict, the jury that voted against you thinks you're immoral and evil. Holy shit. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of taking you to court, is for a jury to decide if you were immoral and evil or not. And they decided that, yeah, you kind of are. You kind of are.
Oh, I'll see you at the feast tonight. Oh, we'll have lots of blood and semen. Oh, good.
That's kind of what they decided, you know? Laura Bronson, thanks for the super sticker. I appreciate that. God. I'm going to get to the Salisbury affidavit. I promise. We'll get there. This is so stupid. Second supplemental, juror number 1's inexplicable use of the SS insignia. They're still on this? The judge said no. They're still on this. Oh, I can't even. I can't read this. I can't go through this idiocy again. Oh my God. No. No. Stop it. Oh my God. This part here was analogizing Sally Smith to Yahtzees in the middle of a trial after being repeatedly instructed not to form an opinion until after receiving all the evidence. Forming an opinion, like coming to a conclusion, sure. But forming an opinion, like starting to have an opinion about the people you put on the stand, the jury is allowed to do that. A juror is allowed to be like, I don't like this woman. I don't like anything she says. I don't like it. I don't like her. You're allowed to think that. When Sally Smith comes up to take the stand, if you hear this in your head, you know it's okay to not like her. It is okay to rely on your human instincts of body language. They tell the jurors this. Your opinions of how they testify, whether they are credible or not, that's all up to you, the fact finder. And if this is what's going through your head, you are allowed to have that opinion. I cannot do squats today. What can I do? I could stretch. But if I go to do squats right now, Ellie, we're going to lose 20 fat people who will not stick around to be fat shamed by Nick Rekieta. I don't know why they don't stick around. But we should do squats. We've all been eating way too much, and we need to put down the butter and the ice cream and the cheese ball and get back to it. So you're right. It's been over an hour. Chat has reminded me it's time for squats. You have 1 minute and 22 seconds to do some squats or some stretching. Touch your damn toes. Get up out of your chair at least. Maybe I'll switch to standing desk to get through the rest of this. And don't leave. If you leave, you're just fat. Don't leave. The show is not over. We'll be back in 1 minute and 22 seconds. Let's go.
You impose fatness on you. You did it by going, oh, I want the butter on the popcorn. Oh, I want the butter on the ice cream. Oh, I want the butter on the sandwich. Oh, I want the butter on the salad. Stop eating butter.
Can you just get up, walk 1 mile?
Do squats!
Walk farther. And if you can't walk, crawl, roll, get dragged by a goddamn forklift. Whatever is wrong with you, just move. Ever. Get off the chair. Get off the couch. No one is coming to service you while you sink into that furniture, while you become one with the pleather your poor ass got on that Walmart couch. Can you try not floating into sadness? Stop eating, stop drinking, start walking, start doing anything that you haven't been doing, you fat piece of shit.
Oh, okay. All right. We're standing now. We're standing. Is my head cut off? Do I need to lift up the desk any higher? No, we're good. We're good. All right. We're standing. This is good for me now so that I'm not sitting for an inordinate amount of time. Did you guys do your squats? How many people did we lose? How many fats did we lose?
Look, Pat, look, here's the deal.
Elephant says, I'm going to forklift myself to the kitchen for a piece of toast with a stick of butter. Put down the butter. Ellie, put the butter down. We've had enough butter. We've all had enough butter. Nick, did he make this sound now just for you, or was it actually one of his shows? It was one of his shows, but he did 2 of them for me, which I should play once in a while. I just don't have them uploaded to the studio, but he did it live here a couple of times. It was so funny. He had to narrate the video. It was good. One of them was about spreading out on the floor like an oil spill from Juan Valdez. It was funny. IT Goatee, throw the pie away. It's time to throw it out. You know what? I never even made my pie. The pie I have is still in the freezer. So maybe I should just save it for next Christmas. All right. Back to the reading. Back to this stupid thing that we're reading here. What are we reading? Third supplement. Undisclosed 2016 criminal threats and protective order. All right. We've already been over all of this. This is about the immediate family member, the stepson. And I hate repeating this because it's such a violation into their privacy. Hey, Joe, welcome to the Fox Den. Thanks for becoming a member. It's such an invasion of privacy that I hate it. LA, thanks for the super chat, says for docs, Google Sarasota County Clerk, go to Clerk 3.0, go to search, type Kowalski, pick civil. It's on the second page. Only one that says reopened, over 4,000 docs. That's right. I actually search in the business name for Johns Hopkins because it comes up really quick. Instead of searching for the name, it's just easier that way. Search Johns Hopkins. You'll also find the Kushner case when you do that. All right. So I hate reading this over and over again because I feel like this stuff about juror number 1's wife's son, say that 3 times fast, is an invasion of their privacy, and they just keep on repeating it. And I don't think we need to go over that yet again. We know what the allegations are, and that's enough. It was 20 years ago too. All right, juror number 1 applied for and received an injunction of protection. Yeah. Okay, who cares? Who cares? I don't want to read this. So, yeah, I think that, again, it's a total invasion of their privacy, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to go over that because I think it has no bearing on anything. Court ordered limited interview with Florida Rule of Professional Conduct. Ruby, thanks for the super chat, says skip to page 11.
Skip to the end.
I'm gonna just kind of speed read through this to see if there's anything I don't know about. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for things that I did not already know about. On December 20th, this court issued an order granting a limited interview of juror number 1. The court ruled that defendants' allegations contained in the second and third supplements of the juror number 1 motion were waived because, although the motion was filed within 15 days of the verdict, the supplements were not. Oh, Locals is making memes. Hold on. Wait. Oh, Nick, this is funny. Johns Hopkins. We also have super fans. It's a dumpster fire with Reddit and the one podcaster who likes them. This is good. The Munchausen podcaster. Oh, man. That's good. Thank you for that, Locals. If you want to join Locals, that's where all the memeing happens. That's where the meme farmers are. And I think we have proven in this trial that this is the channel to be if you want memes. If you want memes, you gotta watch the show here, because I'm the only one who lets you do it. I'm the only one who says it's funny. Everyone else loves our memes afterwards, but they don't want their chat to do it. I don't know why. Mama Care Bear, thanks for the super chat, says, girl, check the doc. Anderson has responded. He quoted Shapiro. Side note, you're amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, great. If he has responded, we'll just get to that right after this. I mean, it's probably going to be a long show today because it's been a while since I've been here. So let's just settle in. Get comfy. I may have to take a lunch break or something, but no, I don't, because the eating has stopped. The eating is done. We will not be eating anymore. Eating. She said, hopefully. All right. What else is happening over on Locals? I don't get the Howard the Duck memes because I never saw the movie. So I don't get it. I don't get the Howard the Duck memes. Those I just don't understand. Casey Cat says, doesn't what the Dick defense is doing border on mental illness? Well, it seems that way to me. I don't know. Seems that way to me. Did I say welcome to Vince as a new member? Vince Clortho became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den. We have fun here. And also the Jacket of Terra, the Jackals of Terra Argentum. Welcome to the Fox Den. Anyway, whatever your name is, welcome. All right. And Kevin Collins, thanks for the 20. Weaponizing judicial proceedings by going after witnesses, jurors, courts, by ex-presidents, politicians, large corporations, nationally to reduce confidence in the system. This is the new defense, not just in this case. Really, Kevin, are there other examples that you can give me? Do we have, or is this happening in other places? Because I really hate this. I think this is a really bad precedent to be set. And I really do think, I think that it's going to have long-ranging effects. That fox sound is terrifying, says Nosy Rosie. I know, but I love it. That is what they sound like. Don't worry, I won't actually go anywhere. If I need something to snack on to keep up the energy, I'll just have one of the children bring me something. All right. Where are we at? The court further ruled that the interview of juror number 1 would be limited to 4 topics. 1, whether juror number 1 received or shared information about the subject matter of the trial through outside sources, including his spouse. 2, whether juror number 1 conducted an investigation about the subject matter of the trial. 3, juror number 1's knowledge of Deborah Salisbury, if any, when he completed the questionnaire. And 4, whether juror number 1 had an undisclosed opinion about DCF or any other entity, and to what extent juror number 1 and DCF or any other entity were involved in the domestic violence case described in defendant's first supplement to the motion. What does he mean, any other agency or entity? Wasn't it on the defense to ask that question specifically? Yeah, I guess I could find the fox laughing sound. I could try and do that. Maybe that would be less terrifying than the scream. That scream they do when they're either hunting, or is that a mating scream? I'm not sure, but it's terrifying. LA, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Did you ever watch the Netflix doc on Locals? I've looked and can't find it. I'm not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree, though. We did watch it. But for those of you who are new to Locals, those only stay up for a little while, and I take them down just so we don't run into any litigious issues, litigious people. Although I feel I transform the thing quite dramatically. I don't want to run into any problems, so they don't stay up for that long. Was that Nick Ricotta's voice? I don't know who Nick Ricotta is, but there was Nick Ricotta. Is Nick Ricotta does he have an Italian restaurant somewhere? All right, let's see. All right. The court also expressed concern that counsel was deputizing an internet community to do indirectly that which an attorney is expressly prohibited to do directly, and quoted the professional rules of conduct, which prohibits an attorney from initiating direct or indirect post-trial communications with jurors. As will be sworn to in forthcoming affidavits, none of the defendant's counsel have initiated communication with jurors directly or indirectly and have not encouraged or solicited members of the public to do so. Plaintiffs apparently cannot make the same representation. As described in argument section C, defendants, Nick Ricotta only drinks limoncello. That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Where was I? I have not encouraged or solicited. Okay, plaintiffs. Yeah. A note post-trial. A note was delivered. Well, this is important. Post-trial. So right there, you can go.
Bullshit.
This is all stupid after that. This is really stupid after that, because if it's post-trial, the jury has a right to talk to one another. You can talk to the jury. The juror members can talk to one another. And in fact, if you watch The Lawyer You Know about this, he talks about how this is really usual for them to have group chats, dinners out, like they become friends over this long process. And, they have this bond, and they have group chats. It's like totally usual. It's usual. This is a totally normal thing to have happened. As described in argument section C, defendants has learned that post-trial a note was delivered from juror number 1's wife to the jurors and alternate jurors, providing Nick Whitney's cell phone number and delivering a message from Nick Whitney to the jurors. This is conjecture. We do not know if Nick told her these things and then she repeated them to the jury as if it was coming directly to them from him, and it really was just given to her and her husband. This is pure conjecture. They're just pulling up anything they can, and you'll see when we get to it, because it's stupid. The note also contained juror number 1's wife's contact information, so Jack Kowalski's contact information, so, and a list of YouTube commentators that followed the trial, so, and a final admonition from Nick Whitney advising that as the case is on appeal, be careful what is said to the media. An image appears below. Okay, here we go. We have been given phone numbers of those you might wish to contact, and they have all said they would love to hear from you. Jack, here's his Nick, here's his cell phone. Please express our overwhelming gratitude for having delivered justice for Maya, Beata, Jack, and Kyle. All of the jurors fulfilled their solemn duty, and we are forever in their debt. That statement could have absolutely been directed to juror number 1's wife and juror number 1. End of story, because she clearly, or one of them, reached out to Nick Whitney. She did, I think. She reached out to Nick. Well, he has every right to talk to her. And if she took his words and passed them on to the jury, he didn't do anything wrong. Nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong here. And I think he said those same things in the media, by the way. Yolanda, okay, that's juror number 1's wife. Her cell phone number. Would be glad to text links or help anyone access the links. Great links to follow the trial and lawyer recaps. These are all in YouTube. You can search for their name. Recovery Addict, he has the entire trial. Go to his playlist. Law and Lumber recaps. Megan Fox recaps. Lawyer You Know recaps. Uncivil Law recaps. Attorney Melanie Little recaps. And Joe Corcoran. As the case is on appeal, be careful what is said to media per Nick Whitney. Now, that doesn't mean that Nick is giving her this admonition to pass on to the jury. It's probably something that he said to her. And that's it. There's nothing here. There's literally nothing here. This is just, it's so frustrating. And I think my favorite explanation I've seen so far has been The Lawyer You Know. I thought that he did a really good job looking at this. And I think if he saw anything that was disturbing to him, he would have said so. And he sees nothing here. And I think it's also interesting, by including uncivil law in this, we all know that uncivil law has not been pro-plaintiff in any way until maybe recently. But during the trial, he was heavily criticizing plaintiffs and claiming that there was no medical malpractice. So the juror number 1's wife actually is giving the jury a multitude of different opinions. And many of us had different opinions. Like Law and Lumber and I did not agree on everything at all. Like these are all don't agree with one another all the time. In fact, a lot of the times we argue. So I don't know if you would call this all pro plaintiff, because I thought Uncivil Law and Law and Lumber were kind of down the middle. Kurt was definitely more pro hospital until recently, when he realized he was wrong. It's too bad nobody ever tried to tell him that. The totality of the circumstances here compels a meaningful and much broader investigation to uphold the integrity of the jury process. Oh, like you care about the integrity of the jury process. You are literally intimidating an entire group of people who are potential jurors, that no one wants to go and do this now because of this shit. No one. What are you doing? Look at this. Oh my God, the memes. Locals is making fun of me now. Spawn, make me a lunch egg. I'm working through lunch. That's good. That's really good. No, I'm going to stop eating. That's the ticket. I'm just not going to eat. Too much food over the holidays. It's just way too much. All right. The evidence of misconduct raised in the defendant's supplements to the motion relating to juror number 1 is not waived and must be addressed in the interview. Further additional questions. I mean, I think Rob even sent the defense some pens. Didn't he? Didn't he send them some of his homemade pens to Shapiro? I wonder if he regrets that. No, I'm sure he doesn't. Rob's a nice guy. I'm sure he doesn't regret being a giving sort of person. The evidence of misconduct. Yeah. Further additional questions listed below in section B should be put to juror number 1 to adequately investigate the allegations of juror misconduct. Finally, juror number 1's wife and plaintiff's counsel must be asked under oath about the post-trial note delivered to the jurors and alternate jurors and its quoted message from plaintiff's counsel, Nick Whitney, to the jurors. All right, the chat is saying no, he didn't. He sent one to Nick and a recovery addict. Okay, I just know he said a lot of nice things about Shapiro and Hunter, and he just thought it was the best lawyering he ever saw. So I don't know. I mean, I understand though why the lawyers may have had those opinions. You know, I think Rob was trying real hard to be down the middle. I think he was trying real hard to be unbiased and to look at it from a different point of view, which I think is very helpful. I think it's very helpful in this community too. I mean, not community, I hate that word, but in the genre of legal analysis, I think it's a really helpful thing for different people to have different opinions and different ways of looking at it. Rogue Mama says, I'm still laughing at make me a lunch egg. Me too. That was very funny. But it just goes to show how wide our opinions are here. You know, it's like there's no real working together. You know, it's more of like how each person sees it, which is why all of you in this audience also are in Recovery Addicts audience, and you're also in Rob's audience, because we each have a different way of looking at things. And so you're going to find different things on every channel. And that gives us, those of us super fans who just want to pore over documents 3, 4, 5 times, the ability to do that and then have a much wider knowledge than we would if we only had one channel or whatever. Yeah, you're right. I could use my watch walkie-talkie for the lunch egg. I'm totally going to do it. If I need something, I will. I'll show you how it works. It's fun. In fact, wait, let me open it up to get it ready. Let's see. It's such a fun thing. See, now it checks availability for Spawn. She's gonna, maybe she's not wearing her watch. If she's not wearing the watch, this will not work. All right. The Jackals of Terra Argentium, thank you for the super chat, says it's frustrating because my mother had Munchausen's and tried to Minecraft my brothers multiple times. What is Minecraft? Tried to Minecraft my brothers multiple times. Dad saved us, but his hospital and CPS But this hospital and CPS love using it as a cover to destroy families. Disgusting. Yeah, she's not available. She must not have it on. Darn it. It's not that. I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. Having a mother with such severe problems and an abuser must be a really difficult hurdle. But yeah, I don't like JHatch using it, and other children's hospitals use it all the time just to get out of their own malpractice. Duncan, Idaho, thanks for the super chat, says Happy New Year. What do you think of Lawyer You Know's take on this? I'm frustrated, but more or less agree with him. Defendants' emotional and hyperbolic arguments could succeed in appeals with crappy next judge, so best to nail it down. I liked Lawyer You Know's. I liked his version of this. I liked his opinions on it. It made me feel a little better listening to him saying that he doesn't think there's anything here. But I don't have any faith in Judge Carroll. I have no faith in him to do the right thing here. None. LA, thanks for the super chat, says, why is Dr. Joe listed as a recap channel? He didn't have a channel until after the verdict, nor posted much for a week. Is this even a real note? And so what? Well, it came way after the verdict. They had a dinner together. The jury had a dinner together at some point after the trial. So I think it was several weeks after the trial. And Joe's channel went up, I want to say right before or after Thanksgiving. It was right around Thanksgiving. And I don't think she had it listed as a recap channel. She just listed his name as a channel they might want to follow. I don't think it's not real. I think it's real, but I don't think there's any problem with it. I don't see a problem with it other than I'm pretty tired of YouTubers being defamed in defense motions. We are not doing anything wrong here by recapping a public trial or reading public documents. And the idea that there's something wrong with us for doing such a thing just pisses me off. It makes me want to do it even more. I always enjoy, finding out what really hurts bad people. And if it hurts them that we're poring over their documents, well, then I want to do it more. Locals, stop it. Stop distracting me. Okay. They're still on about the lunch egg over there. It's not going to end. I gotta get her to open up her watch. I wonder if... See, I'm going to have to institute a rule where they have to wear their watches. Neither one of them are wearing them right now. Maybe they're charging. I don't know. Okay. Further additional questions. Okay, did that. Finally, juror number 1's wife and plaintiff's counsel must be asked under oath about the post-trial note delivered to the jurors and alternate jurors and its quoted message from plaintiff's counsel Nick Whitney to the jurors. This court has declined to interview juror number 1 about the evidence of misconduct set forth in defendant's second and third supplement to the post-trial motion for a new trial or juror interview. Yeah, that's because it was dumb. In the court's view, defendant waived the ability to request inquiry into the facts that set forth in the third supplement because the supplement was filed more than 15 days after the verdict. The court found the request for inquiry regarding the facts in the second supplement waived both because the supplement was filed over 15 days post-verdict and because it was a really stupid request. No, sorry, that's not what it says. And because defendant had a copy of the notes in question before the verdict was entered. Yeah, and you should have noticed. Respectfully, this court's ruling on waiver is legally incorrect. Oh, this is a great way to win you some points with the judge. Tell him that he's legally wrong.
Wrong. Nobody cares.
With respect to the court's ruling that the jury note issue is waived because defendant failed to raise it prior to the verdict, it is unreasonable to expect that defendant would be able to scrutinize handwriting irregularities in jury notes in the midst of a 7-week trial. Oh, is it though? If it's so obvious, why didn't you see it? Duncan, Idaho, thanks for the $5 locals tip, says, I would love if J. Hatch were slapped with a humiliating and definitive hand of justice. Yeah, me too.
Denied. Sit down.
But we're working within a system in which justice is the outlier, and everyone seems to get away with everything if they have money. Also, trying to edit all transitive verbs in a super chat so that YouTube will accept it is the most annoying shit ever. It's a transitive verb. See, now you've got my grammar nerd going. What's a transitive verb and why do you have to edit them? A transitive verb is a verb that uses a direct object, which shows who or what receives the action in a sentence. In the example, she gives a gift. Gives is a transitive verb. Why would you have to edit that out of YouTube? I'm not understanding. Okay. I can't. All right. Yeah, if you guys are having trouble with the YouTube super chats or whatever, you can always do Cash App or Venmo. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. I get all of that too, 100% of it, and you can still send a note that I can read. So yeah, do that instead, or go to Locals and sign up there, because Locals is a great place you can send tips there or just support the channel by $5 super or $5 a month. YouTube doesn't like violent comments. Oh, interesting. But like you can't even say slap. Well, if there are mods in the chat, the mods should be watching out for that and okaying those. Not that I'm not violent comments, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, don't you? All right. All right, I'm just opening up Venmo and Cash App so I don't miss stuff. Okay. All right, back to it. Say Nancy Kerrigan. Oh, it's kind of fun finding out different ways to say things that we can still get the point across on YouTube, like Minecraft. All right. With respect to the court's ruling that the jury note issue is waived because defendant failed to raise it prior to the verdict, it is unreasonable to expect the defendant would be able to scrutinize handwriting irregularities in the middle of a 7-week trial. Furthermore, until the extent of juror number 1's pro-plaintiff and anti-defendant bias came to light, the meaning and context of the Yahtzee symbolism used in the October 12th note was nearly impossible to appreciate. Really? Well, then you didn't catch it, so you don't get to bring it up now. The court itself has not suggested that it noticed the altered first letters of Sally Smith's name when the juror note was considered by the court and counsel at the bench. If this court had observed these versions of Dr. Smith's name at the time, it would have been impossible for this court to rule on November 6th that it had not seen anything in my mind that would remotely come to me to get the conclusion that he has prejudged anything in this case. Why? Why wouldn't he be able to say that? I looked at it. It didn't make me think that. Dumb. Simply put, there is no evidentiary basis in the record to find the defendant made a knowing waiver of its right to use the evidence to challenge a juror who was prejudging this case because it did not immediately appreciate. I can't believe he's still going on about the SS. No, I really can't. I really can't. This is so crazy This is so crazy. I can't even.
Quiet.
Bullshit.
I can't. I can't believe we're still talking about it's Sally Smith and the letter S. Today's program was brought to you by the letter S. I'm so tired of these people.
You will pay for what you've done. And I pray that God send angels to visit vengeance upon you.
I'm so tired of this. So tired of these Sally Smith S's. My God, we're still going through this. We're still doing it. Look at this. Look at all these paragraphs about Sally Smith and the S's. Ugh. All right, this is all about deadlines, blah, blah, blah. Why we should be heard on this topic, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Oh, juror number one's okay. New trial. This is why we need a new trial. Juror concealed information during questioning. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, oh, we're on page 16. I'm so bored with this. We're still talking about the family member charged with something. Lawyers representing. I mean, this is just more whining. So much whining. Now we're going to complain about the victim of a crime answer to that question. I'm so bored with this. I can't even tell you. We're going to skip through this. Wait. Moreover, the Supreme Court in Roberts made clear that counsel is not required to perform a full public record search on every potential juror during voir dire. No, you're not required, but you certainly have the option to do so. You can. If you're not a lazy piece of shit who's like trying to, what were they trying to do? Save money? Why is my camera's like slowly going that way? They're trying to save money or something, so they didn't do it. Well, that's your own fault. No, you're not required, but it's advisable to do a public record search so that you know who you're putting on a jury. That's your responsibility, though, as a defense team. That's your responsibility as the lawyer. There, a 10-month post-verdict investigation revealed, a 10-month post-verdict investigation, holy shit, that 3 jurors failed to disclose prior litigation involvement. Initially, the 3rd District found the counsel had failed to exercise due diligence because the time to check the jurors' names against the clerk's lawsuit index is at the conclusion of jury selection. But the Supreme Court reversed, holding that requiring trial counsel to conduct an investigation of the veneer during trial is directly contrary to the court's opinion in De La Rosa. Moreover, the court noted, why didn't they quote it? It's always a problem when they don't quote the law that they are citing. If there's no quote, look at this half quote that they used. Holding that requiring trial counsel to conduct an investigation of the veneer during trial is directly contrary. That's where it ends, to the court's opinion. Really? Contrary to what? Where's the rest of the quote? I don't believe them. Moreover, the court noted statewide information is not immediately available in all courtrooms, and trial lawyers cannot be expected to try a case and conduct an exhaustive investigation of the veneer panel at the same time. Why not? Isn't that why you have jury consultants and all that? While the ultimate goal is to have all information disclosed during jury selection, we cannot and must not sacrifice the integrity of the jury process in the name of expediency. Defendant has not waived the evidence of misconduct contained in the 2nd and 3rd supplement, blah, blah, blah. Should reconsider its previous order. Okay, B. This is where it gets interesting. The current scope of juror number 1 interview is insufficient to investigate the allegations of misconduct. Ruby says he's arguing about timeliness of supplemental motions, not relevance. Case they cite got a new trial. I read the case. Interesting. And it got a new trial because they found that 3 of the jurors didn't disclose that they had previous litigation in a similar trial. Is that it? I don't see how this rises to anywhere near that level, because he disclosed during questioning about his stepson. So whether or not he checked the wrong box, he told the court about his stepson and being charged with something. So that was the time for them to then go, oh, pull the public records. We should go pull the public records on this guy to make sure. That's when they should have done it. Vince Clare, though, thanks for the super chat, says, do expunged offenses come up at jury selection? Yeah, I have no idea. It depends on what the question is being asked. If the question is asked, have you ever been convicted of anything? I guess you would have to say yes, even if it was expunged. Okay. Even plaintiff's counsel has conceded that if juror number 1 is simply asked whether he improperly shared information with his wife, he will simply repeat the denials that he made before and during trial. Well, no, that's just that. What they're saying is, why would you expect him to say anything different than he said? These are the same questions he was asked. We don't expect him to say anything different. That's all. And they're pointing out that because we don't expect him to say anything different, this defense is not going to stop. They're going to continue going after him, which is very clear. An interview that contains only questions about direct communications and shared information will yield no useful information and reveal nothing about whether juror number 1 engaged in misconduct. Given the strength of the evidence, the juror number 1 omitted multiple pieces of material evidence on the jury from the jury form, harbored a pro-plaintiff bias during trial, and failed to disclose his wife's extensive contacts with pro-plaintiff social media accounts. He had no idea, probably. Does my husband know what I'm doing online? No. Does he care? No. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know where I am or where I'm making comments and whose YouTube shows I'm watching. He has no clue. None. Zero. And I don't know what he's watching either. This is so crazy, as if we all, husbands and wives, just instinctively know what the other one is doing online or what they're reading. We don't, unless we share it with one another. And that only happens very rarely, only on the times where I come across something where I'm like, oh, I know he would like to see this. And then I'll tell him about it, and he'll do the same thing with me. But we are not in each other's internet circles. We have completely different internet circles. He's probably on some Star Wars fan page somewhere. I'm not there. He's probably on some Roman Empire chat stream. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. And it's 12:53 p.m. Do you know what your husband is watching? Yeah, not at all. Like, although it's probably some kind of sci-fi thing. Yeah, he's a total nerd. It's true. Oh God. Yeah, it's not like the only way that your husband or wife would know all of your, internet stuff is if, I guess, you were both following the same exact pages and watching the same things at the same time. It's just not, life is not Facebook. Facebook, most people don't even use it anymore. So Facebook was the one place where you could really stalk your spouse because it tells you what your spouse liked and stuff. But there aren't any other social media. There's no other, well, maybe Instagram is sort of like that, where you can see what people you follow, what they've liked. Yeah, well, she says, I'm sat in my living room, earphones in, while my partner watches his stuff, and he doesn't have a clue what I'm listening to. Yeah, exactly. That's, ew, stink bugs dropping from the ceiling. I have a bug problem. And now he's on his back, struggling. What am I supposed to do with this? He just dropped onto my desk. He could have dropped into my hair. I have a bug problem in this room. All right, I'm sorry, bug, but your time is up. Ugh. Oh, I smushed it. All right. I'm so tired of the bugs in here. All right. Yeah, I smashed it. I had to. I'm really tired of the bug problem. Duncan Idaho, thanks for the tip on local, says, so I guess on the one hand, I understand why Judge Tuft is being overly conciliatory to the defense motions to protect the integrity of this trial. But on the other hand, enough. I think it's safe to say no at this point. Oh, it's totally safe to say no.
Denied. Sit down.
R.I.P. bug. R.I.P. My room is bugged. The other day I was on with Sean McMillan, and a stink bug literally crawled across my camera. It came creeping down across the camera. I knew it was going to happen at some point. Parents have been married for 41 years. They don't know what either are doing in the same room. It's true. It's true. All right. In order to adequately investigate the evidence of juror misconduct, defendant requests that the court ask the following questions and any appropriate follow-up questions. Oh, here we go. Please tell us your wife's name. Does she post using the pseudonym Hippo Lover? Well, so now the husband is supposed to rat out his wife? Like, what? Can you imagine what these two have been going through on a daily basis? Does she use a hippo as her avatar? What devices does she use to access the internet and post online? Now, what do they need to know that for? The only reason why they would ask that question is so they can get their hands on those devices. There's no other reason to ask what device she uses unless they're planning to file a motion for discovery, including those devices. There's no other explanation for that. Do you share a device with your spouse? If so, what? Nobody shares a device anymore, except maybe a home computer, although that's few and far between now. If either your device or hers or a shared device is static, i.e. a desktop PC monitor as opposed to a laptop, where in your home is it located? Why? So you can kick in the door and take it? Why do you need to know where it's located? Do you and your wife typically visit social media sites and post in a common area of the home, i.e. a living room or family room or veranda? Well, so what is he saying? That you can't sit on the couch next to your spouse and post something on social media without them knowing about it? Of course you can. I do it all day long. Do you think my husband does not follow me on Twitter? I'm constantly tweeting while we're watching something. He's not looking at my tweets. Do you know? Locals. Oh my God. So funny. It's 10 p.m. Do you know what your wife posts? The veranda. Right. The veranda is a really weird word too. Like, what is this? The South? Are we in Atlanta? Do you know what your wife posts? Good God. Nobody has any idea what their spouse is doing. And nobody cares either, unless you're a stalker. Like, unless you have a really toxic relationship, most people just leave the other adult in the house alone to do what they want and read what they want without being interrogated about what they're reading or what they're posting. Oh, God. Rogue Mama says my husband prefers not to know. So does mine. As soon as I start telling him, he's like, oh, no, not another case. I don't want to hear about another trial. He doesn't care. Oh, man. It's out on the lanai. Yes, we post on the lanai. This is so dumb. We request that the post attached to juror number 1 motion be shown to juror number 1 and the following questions posed. Have you seen any of the attached posts? Which ones and when? During the trial, were you aware that your wife was posting comments? Oh my God. Sir, do you control your wife? Reminds me of that movie, Moonlighting. Remember, this is like the opening scene or one of them. They're sitting in she's sitting with for dinner at Bobo's, and the professor has his young student there, and she throws a glass of water on him and storms out. And the date who's sitting with Cher's date says, "A man who cannot control his woman is funny." And she goes, "She was too young for him. You know, like, it's not that. She's too young. But a man who cannot control his wife is funny. That's basically what they're saying here. Do you control your wife, sir? Why do you have such an out of control wife? Boy, I bet my husband asks himself that question all the time. Oh. Have you ever seen any of the posts made during trial? When? So basically, are you stalking your wife online to make sure you control her? Keep her in line? Are you doing that? During the trial, was there any communication between the two of you regarding her online activity related to this case, whether verbal or nonverbal? What's a nonverbal communication? Do they mean in writing? Or by what do they call that? ESP? I mean, I will admit, my husband can non-verbally communicate his distaste with something with me with an eyebrow raise, but that's about it. Yeah, wink, wink. What are they talking about? Like, is there blinking in Morse code? I was just thinking that, Jinx. She was sending smoke signals. Telepathy. Secret code. This is so crazy. Did you later learn that your wife was posting during trial? Well, yeah, of course he did, because she was like, you've got to see all this stuff. Look at what I've been doing. Were you ever present when she was watching live streams or videos, reading information, or posting online about this case, either before or during trial? Like, I hate to break it to the defense, but doesn't everyone listen to what they're listening to on headphones? We're not walking around the house blasting it, are we? Especially because other people are doing other things. You're not trying to upset and obviously she knows her husband's a juror. She's not going to be watching it in front of him. That's stupid. Did you ever discuss your wife's posts with her, either before, during, or after trial? Did you discipline your wife for all the posts that she made? Have you disciplined your wife at all for all these inappropriate posts that she made during the trial? I usually only use the speaker when I'm alone, because I never know what kind of language is going to come out of the mouths of the people I'm watching. So I don't want to be like hanging around by hangry and a bunch of F-bombs get, delivered. Because then he looks at me like, what are you watching? Rightly so. Did you ever discuss your wife's posts? Oh yeah, we did that. Did you express to her your approval of or agreement with any of her posts? Oh, I see. A wife can only post her opinions if her husband approves. Is that what I'm getting from this? Am I the only one who gets this? Am I the only one who is just blown away by this? Yeah, I run all my social media posts past my husband first. Honey, can you approve this for me, please? Like I'm 5. What? Oh my God. There are not hours in the day enough for him to take on that task. Were you aware at the time that she was paying to accelerate and enhance some of her posts? Oh my God. Were you monitoring her Visa usage? Did you see all those Google charges on the credit card? And did you properly, did you discipline her for that? Are you watching her finances? Why aren't you stopping her from sending $5 super chats to Lawn Lumber? This is so crazy. If you reversed this and you asked a wife if she was aware of what her husband was spending on super chats, like, can you even imagine that happening? Can you even imagine a lawyer asking a wife if she was aware of super chats? Like, this is so misogynistic. It's disgusting. Like, because, we have to check in with our husbands before we can send a $5 super chat. Sure. Wow. Did you and your wife discuss the reference case before trial? Do you know if she posts posted regarding the reference case before trial? Did you? Were you aware before trial she favored plaintiffs? Did you? How does he know that she favored the plaintiffs before the trial? There's no evidence of that. She, like the rest of us, started favoring the plaintiffs the minute the defense opened their mouths. Oh, there's more. Spouse relationship with plaintiff's team. How did it come about that your wife was in the courtroom during the trial? Oh, I don't know. She got in the car and came down and walked into an open public courtroom. Were you aware that she had plans to attend court? How did you become aware? When did you become aware? Why would any of that matter? I don't think it's, is it against the rules for her to, it's not against the rules for her to go to court. It's not against the rules for her to know her husband is on a jury. So weird. Were you aware that your wife was meeting Jules during the trial? Oh, wait. Were you aware of any communication between your wife and Jules during the trial? Were you present during any such communication? Were there verbal, nonverbal, or otherwise? Well, of course he was present. He was in the courtroom if that was the day she was sitting next to her. Were you aware that your wife was meeting Jules during the trial? Were you aware of your wife's presence in the courtroom? Why did you not disclose it? Did she communicate with Jules or Dr. Richards while she was in the courtroom? Did she communicate with any witness for the Kowalskis? Did she have any communication during trial with any member of the Anderson Glenn law firm, any person associated with their team? When did your wife first communicate with Nick Whitney, Greg? Well, how's he going to know when his wife first communicated with these people? Honestly, my husband doesn't know any of the emails I send. He would have no knowledge of this. He would be like, I don't know. Don't know. Ask her. Oh, locals. What the hell is that? It's a funny shirt, but I don't understand. What is the giant monster thing standing next to her? Guys, what is this? Wait. What is that thing? What is this thing right here? What is Bus Stop Superfans? What is this? Is this some kind of like anime thing I don't understand? What is it? Oh, Bus Stop Superfans. It's funny. I don't know what that thing is though. It's a Totoro. What's a Totoro? You guys are going to have to train me in the ways of the anime. I don't get it. Oh, I knew it was anime. A squish cat? What's a squish cat? Looks like a big rat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not aware of anime stuff, so I'm never going to get the anime. It's just a cat. Just a cat. Tortoro. Megan, you got to watch Studio Ghibli movies? I don't know what those are. When did you become aware of your wife's illicit communications with Nick Whitney, Jen Anderson, Greg Anderson, or any other member of their team? Because, you know, husbands are always on top of what who their wives are talking to. I bet he has the phone tapped, like all good husbands. He's got recordings of every phone conversation just to make sure his wife isn't stepping out of line. This is crazy. When did you first have contact with Greg Anderson, Nick Whitney, Jen Anderson, or anyone from their law firm outside the courtroom? I'm not sure he has had any. I don't think they've spoken to juror number 1. When did you first have contact with Jules outside of the courtroom? When did you first have contact with Dr. Richards outside of the courtroom? How do they know that he's talked to any of these people? When did you first have contact with Dr. Kirkpatrick outside the courtroom? Do you know Deborah Salisbury? If so, and how and when did you first become aware of her? Did you have any contact with Deborah Salisbury before the trial, during the trial, after the trial? Did your wife have any contact with Deborah Salisbury before, during, or after the trial? Recently discovered additional evidence of misconduct requires additional inquiry. Oh, I added the word illicit. That was me. That wasn't in the actual document. That was me. You got to read along. Sometimes I add things just to be funny. Defendant has recently learned that post-verdict, a number of jurors and alternate jurors met for dinner. A note from juror number 1's wife was given to all the attendees. Yeah, so the note provides contact information for Nick Whitney, plaintiff's counsel, as well as Jack Kowalski and juror number 1's wife. The top of the note reads, "We've been given the phone number." Yeah, we already read it. Yeah. We already read it. No member of defendant's legal team has initiated communication with any of the jurors, either directly or indirectly. Well, Nick Whitney hasn't done that either. If he's told juror number 1's wife when she contacted him these things and she repeated them to the jury, that is not Nick Whitney reaching out to jurors. It's juror number 1's wife reaching out to jurors. It is not Nick. Nick likes the soup says, "My partner could tell me what she did and I still wouldn't know what she did." Yes, that's so true. Oh my God. Grown adults, like adult relationships, like when you have a mature relationship and, you get along well and, it's a healthy relationship, you're not in each other's business. There's no need to be. There's no need to be up in each other's grill all the time. That's a really immature way to have a relationship. It's a recipe for disaster. You don't need to be up in each other's business. You really need to learn how to leave each other alone. If you're going to live for a very long time with someone, you need to learn how to give them space and how to be close when it's right, when the closeness is about where you guys agree on things and enjoy certain things together. Like Mr. Fox and I love to go kayaking, so we do that together. He does not like to watch trials, so we don't do that together. He would think that I do not like to watch sci-fi, so he does that by himself or with the kids. We like to cook though, so we do that together sometimes. And there are things in an adult relationship that are done separately and are done together. Thanks for the super chat. M169 says, "Thankful I'm not alone in not getting anime. The artwork looks creepy and borderline child Cornish, just my opinion." Yeah, I don't get it either, but like I have a kid that really likes it, at least some of it. She likes like some of the stuff that's on Netflix. I don't get it. Vince Clore, though, thanks to the super chat, says, "What your husband do? You woman-splain this?" I don't know. Bozen says, "Thanks for the super chat. Can I go inside the jury?" I don't know. I don't know how you would go inside the jury. You mean the jury room? Vince Clore, though, thanks for the super chat, says, "Does expunge defenses?" Oh, we did that one already. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the document here. Nor has any member of defendant's legal team attempted to deputize an online community to take actions that counsel in the case would be prohibited to take. Well, I don't know. What exactly has Reddit done? Like, were they allowed to do all of those things? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. The evidence suggests that the same cannot be said for plaintiff's counsel. The note delivers a message directly from plaintiff's counsel to the jurors, expressing overwhelming gratitude for the jury's verdict. I'm pretty sure Nick said that to the press, so I don't think that that's a direct note to them. And that he would love to hear from them. Well, every attorney, including defense attorneys, would love to hear from the jury. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly within the rules. Defendant has redacted personal contact information from the note. Oh, funny. That's great, Shapiro. Thanks for redacting all that personal information in this motion. It's too bad you didn't think about that in your first motion against juror number 1 when you doxed him and his wife. Great job. Great job. Thanks for pointing it out, though, to us now that you did the right thing this time. This note demands further inquiry, and not just from juror number 1, but also from juror number 1's wife, plaintiff's counsel, and Jack Kowalski. In addition to the questions in section B above, defendant requests that the court ask the following questions regarding the note delivered to jurors. Question to juror number 1, have you ever seen the attached note? Did your wife deliver this note directly or indirectly to any of your colleagues on the jury, whether jurors and alternates? To whom specifically did she deliver it to? Didn't he just answer his own question? They had a dinner and she handed it out to everyone at the dinner they were at. Did your wife discuss the content of this note with Nick Whitney or Greg Anderson or anyone from their office? The person they really want to talk to is juror number 1's wife. They want to put her on trial. So they're trying to do it through the juror. It's weird. Was your wife asked to send the attached note to the jury alternates? By whom? What was the response? Who responded? How would he know? If his wife had a conversation with Nick Whitney, why would juror number 1 know what it was about? Question for juror number 1's wife. See, they want to put her on the stand. Have you ever seen the attached note? Did you type the attached note or ask someone to type it for you? Did you deliver the note to any member of the jury or any alternate? To whom specifically did you deliver it and when? It is an interesting question how they got this note. It had to have been a member of the jury who gave it to them, which is weird. I don't know why the jury would want to give the defense ammunition, unless there's some kind of intimidation going on and the jury feels like they had no choice. Did you ever speak with Nick Whitney or... Oh, it could have been one of the alternates. Yeah. One of the alternates. I bet it was one of the alternates. Did you ever speak with Nick Whitney or Greg Anderson or anyone from their office about the note or its contents? This is so boring. Were Nick Whitney or Greg Anderson aware of the note either before or after you delivered it to jurors? When did they learn of it? How did you obtain Nick Whitney's message to the jury containing the note and when? I would imagine he just said it to her. Or in the media. Did you know on November 6th that juror number 1's wife had been in the courtroom a few days earlier? Or this is questions for plaintiff's counsel. How would they know that juror number 1's wife was in the courtroom? She didn't tell Jules who she was. How would plaintiff's counsel know who she was? When did you meet juror number 1's wife for the first time? Where and who initiated the contact? Were you aware of the note written by juror number 1's wife? When did you learn of it? Did you suggest to juror number 1 directly or indirectly that she deliver a note to the jurors? How did juror number 1 obtain the message from Nick Whitney to the jury contained in the note? When? What did Nick Whitney say about the jurors speaking to the press and when? Did he ask juror number 1's wife to deliver that message either directly or indirectly? Questions for Jack. Did you know on November 6th that juror number 1's wife had been in the courtroom? Did you communicate with Jules? If so, did it include any reference to juror number 1 or his wife? Have you ever had contact with juror number 1 or his wife? Blah, blah. Defendant realizes that the scope of its request regarding juror number 1 is unusual and dickish. Very, very dickish. Unusual. You realize it's unusual. Do you realize how dickish it is, though?
Wrong.
Do you realize how wrong it is? Because it's really wrong. It's so wrong. Internal screaming intensifies. But this case is extraordinary in many ways. Don't flatter yourself, Shapiro. It's not that extraordinary. You lost. You went in with a shitty case. Jury didn't like you, didn't like your witnesses, and you lost. It's not that extraordinary. Including the unprecedented traditional and social media attention it has received. That is also not extraordinary. You're new to this. We are not new. We've been here for years. We've been here for years, sir. Just because you don't know about our little nerdy community here doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that we haven't been doing this for every big trial that has come along in the last many years. This bothers me. This is one of the things that bothers me the most. Hunter probably did write it, Laura, but I like doing Shapiro voice. Actually, their clerks wrote it and then they sign it. That's how these things work. We are nerds. I'm sorry, but face reality, Elephant. Face reality. We're nerds. This is like a small community of super law nerds, and we can't help ourselves. It's just what we do. It's kind of like a genre of true crime. It's like a true crime branch. You know, like if true crime is over here, LawTube is like kind of right here, because it's not just about the crime. It's also about the judicial process, right? It's about justice. These are people who are, our community is really justice minded and interested in the law, interested in the way things work. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the fact that I've found a bunch of people who are as fascinated as I am in all of this. We break for trials. So it bothers me. It bothers me when they pretend like this is new. It's not unprecedented, Mr. Hunter. You just didn't know about it until you got hit with it. You didn't know about it until LawTube got interested in you. But you know who does know about it? Lunchbox. You think he knows about it? Who else knows about it? E. Thomas Binger. He is now aware, if he wasn't before. Elaine Bredehoff sure knows about it. You're not special. That's right. You're not special, Ethan Shapiro and Howard Hunter. You're just the next group of lawyers in a long line of lawyers who have been ridiculed by LawTube. Welcome to the club. Sorry you hate being in it so much. But you're not special. This is not unprecedented. This community has been here a long time. And it has nothing to do with you personally. Choosy Heretics says Knights of Malta are fake hippies and nerds. Thank you for the membership. Sarah Adams, thanks for the super chat, says they use suspicion and evidence synonymously. I use suspicion and evidence synonymously. That's exactly right. That's what they do. That's what they do. Oh, 24 minutes ago, someone posted on Reddit that Megan is live. Oh, wonderful.
Can you believe that bitch is live again? She's talking about the defense. She's talking about our beloved defense. Megan, stop. We hate her.
Hi, Reddit. Hello to the group of doctors, rich doctors' wives and doctors who can't see past their own noses to recognize child abuse when they see it. Stop abusing kids, Johns Hopkins, doctors and their wives. Quit doing that.
Hate, loathe entirely.
Hola, Reddit. Medium smart law nerds here. Yeah. Could you stop dropping kids? Could you, to the doctors at J-Hatch, could you just stop dropping the kids? That's really all we ask. And imprisoning them falsely and letting them be, stripped and searched and photographed, because that's weird. That's weird, and you should stop. At John's Drops Kids. Where's my favorite meme, locals? I need my meme of the guy and the girl walking together, and he's looking at the other girl and he's whistling at the other girl, and the other girl is named John's Drop Kids and his current girlfriend is John Shopkins. I need my favorite meme. Where did it go? Oh, maybe stop stalking minors against their will. Yeah. Could you just stop dropping the kids? Just stop dropping them, and easy on the Shopkins addiction too. All right. The detailed evidence of juror misconduct that has been exposed requires an inquiry sufficient to determine whether defendant received a fair trial or the integrity of the jury system was compromised. I got news for them. The jury system has been compromised, and it's been compromised by J. Hatch attorneys, because 83% of the people I polled are now intimidated to go serve on a jury because of this shit. There it is. Thank you, Nick. I knew Nick would come through because he's here today. He was on vacation for a while, and he was on a media vacation, so he wasn't available in locals. Look at this. I love this so much. I remember the day when John Shopkins became John's Drops Kids. John's Drop Kids. Oh, God. No, I don't mean Ricada Nick. I mean Nick Likes the Soup in locals. We have a couple of Nicks that gets confusing. But Nick Likes the Soup does a lot of the memes. He's my main memer. Oh my God, I love this meme. I remember the day very clearly when we were reading through that motion where it said, we may have dropped her. Oh my God. And within 30 seconds, they were now John's Drops Kids. The John Shopkins, though, memes had a good run. They really did. But now John's Drops Kids, it just doesn't get better than that. I got to tell you. All right, let's get back to this. We're almost through, and then we can get to the Salisbury affidavit and whatever else we got to do. Oh, there's a plaintiff's response, too, so we got to do that. The limited scope of the interview, blah, 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 inadequate. I love it when they call the court's order inadequate. Judge is going to love that.
Deny, sit down.
I wish he would, but I doubt he would. Okay, we're done. We're done here. Signed by Howard Hunter, Dracula himself. All right, stop screen. Let's go back to him bigging me. And now I got to find, oh, Jeff said he sent me the document. So let me go to my email. This is the Salisbury affidavit. This should be a pretty quick read. I think it's only one to 2 pages. I will try to get through it without stopping too much so we can get to the plaintiff's response. I need a bathroom break though. I got to pee. It's been a while and I'm on my second cup of coffee. All right, hold on. I got to take a bathroom break. So hold on. What shall I play for you while I'm gone? This is fun. All right, I'll be right back. The show is not over. This is so nuts. You're gonna love it so much. I mean, this story is crazy. I can't believe I never heard of it until this. It's been going on since the 90s.
It's like a whirlwind going on. And I'm thinking, oh, what in the hell have they got me into? In a McDonald's office with a naked woman?
Stop. Your manager. Oh my God. You guys, I want to believe I've never been this naive. Like, I want to believe that.
McDonald's office with a naked woman? I'm thinking, what part of being the right thing to do did you think this was? I started.
Empower your daughters to say no. Don't miss another movie night with Meg. Sign up now on meganfox.locals.com. I'm back. Hey, thanks for hanging in there. A bunch of you didn't leave. All right. Okay, here it is. Download, open, share. Wait, what is this? This is not it. Oh, this is the plaintiff's motion for sanctions. All right, no, I need the Salisbury one. Oh, Legal Vice has sent me a bunch of stuff. The heck, Jeff? What is all this? Must be new stuff. Cool. All right, what's this? Wait, no, that's the same thing. Here's the affidavit. Okay. All right, well, now we've got them all queued up. Excellent. No, it keeps on giving me... Why does it keep opening the same thing? All right, what am I doing wrong? Hold, please. Hold, please. Is the affidavit in the motion to strike for sanctions? All right, let's read this first. All right, let's read. I still don't see the affidavit, the Salisbury affidavit in my email. I see the motion to strike. Okay, let's just read this because it's one page. We'll find the affidavit in a minute. All right, let's move me up here. This embiggen. All right, plaintiff's motion to strike and motion for sanctions. Plaintiffs Maya Kowalski individually, Jack Kowalski individually, and Jack Kowalski as personal representative of the estate of Beata Kowalski buying through undersigned counsel hereby move to strike the defendant's filing of the subpoena for juror interview in violation of this court's December 20th, 2023 order. The court directed the defendant to redact any and all identifying information, including the physical location of juror number 1. Defendant filed its subpoena with the GPS coordinates unredacted in violation of this court's order. What? What GPS coordinates? They have him GPS now? Are they GPSing juror number 1? What is happening? The pattern of defense counsel's conduct in this regard is now prolific and intentional, having repeatedly made the personal information of juror number 1 public record in this case. Yes, they have. Wherefore, plaintiffs moved for an order striking the filing dated December 26th and for sanctions and for such further relief as this court deems just and proper. GPS? Hold on. I gotta ask where that was found. I gotta know where they saw that. I hope that I didn't accidentally show it. I didn't see anything like that, or I wouldn't have shown it, but my God. Hold on, let me ask. How do they have his GPS coordinates? They filed its subpoena with the GPS. Oh my God, now I know what they did. The subpoena they filed for the juror. They filed a subpoena to serve him to come to court, and they must have put his location on it and didn't redact it. That's bizarre. That's really bizarre. Okay, all right, so that's that. This is the same thing. Same thing. All right, now I gotta find the affidavit. Hold on, let me go to the docket. I think locals told me what file number it was. Let me back up in the chat. It's in Greg's response, 47 pages, I think. Okay. Duncan, Idaho, thanks for the tip on local, says Megan, Studio Ghibli is an animation studio in Japan run by a guy named Hayao Miyazaki. Beautifully illustrated films that can be 100% enjoyed by children and adults. Not your everyday dorky anime. This guy is like the Japanese Walt Disney with more talent and passion. I vote that you watch. From Up on Poppy Hill or maybe Porco Rosso. How much would it take to convince you to try one? Oh, I'll look at it. What I really would like, do they have the graphic novels by any chance? Because Hangry really likes graphic novels, and I'm always looking for stuff that's family friendly for him to read, because there's a lot of terrible stuff out there. Oh, what a great blast from the past. I guess we need to make one of these with Shapiro's face on it now. locals because apparently Shapiro also is a LawTube virgin because he doesn't know we exist. And he had no idea. And he thinks that he's extraordinary and special because of it. Remember when Greg said he was a LawTube virgin? So funny. Love it. He laughed really hard at that, by the way. I sent him that while he was right after he said that on Joe Corcoran's show. You guys made it so quickly, and he was on the show when he saw it. He was laughing. It was funny. All right, I'm looking for the document number that I'm looking for. I know you guys posted it in locals, but it was way back here. Dang it, I should have written it down. Shoot. Not seeing it. All right, let me just go to the docket and see if I can find the 47-page response. There's a notice of filing, supplemental exhibits in support of response post-trial motions. That's got to be it. 49 pages. That's got to be it. Salisbury affidavit is latest filing. Okay, 4091. I think I got it now. Yeah, I got it. I got it. We're good now. Plaintiff's notice of filing. Window share. All right. Exhibit A. Comes now, Deborah Salisbury, upon her personal knowledge, oath, and affirmation, deposes and says the following. I have been duly licensed to practice law in the state of Florida since April of 1993. Affiant has continuously remained a member of the Florida Bar in good standing for more than 30 years, despite practicing in a difficult and confrontational area of law. I stand on my reputation as an officer of the court as to these circumstances. I have been board certified in juvenile dependency law since 2018. As the court may recall, I represented Jack Kowalski and at times the decedent, Beata Kowalski, in the underlying shelter and dependency action brought by the Department of Children and Families in 2016-17. I have been deposed in the present case. On Friday, 15th, 2023, I was present in the gallery in courtroom 2B of the South Sarasota County Courthouse when this matter was before this honorable court for oral argument on issues involving claims of misconduct by the then so-called juror number 1 and his wife. Wait, Runkle's favorite phrase is comes now? Whenever I read that phrase, I actually, it doesn't hit me in the way that the juvenile way that we always laugh about.
Phrasing?
But it hits me in a, we're about to get serious. But this is serious. We're getting very serious. You know, when a document starts out, comes now, you're going before a court. So it's very serious. On Friday, I was present at that date and time and place. Defense attorney Ethan Shapiro represented to this court that the undersigned attorney had represented juror number 1's wife in her prior divorce case. As an officer of this court, I bring this misrepresentation of the record to the court's attention. I herein state to the fullest extent of my knowledge of juror number 1 and or his wife, prior to being in this court's courtroom and learning what I take to be an attack by the defense on my professional integrity, personally and as an attorney, based upon allegations as to juror number 1. Defense counsel erroneously and intentionally implied that I was involved in some wrongdoing via some prior knowledge or involvement, which never happened. In a Runkletarian government, that phrase would be abolished. Why? Why does he hate it so much? During 2007, I was court-appointed counsel and represented another individual involved in a family court case. Given the confidentiality rules regarding the disclosure of information, I am prohibited from identifying my client. Per the above, Yolanda Phelps attended a brief hearing, and although I may have seen her, she was represented by other counsel, and I in no way represented her. In this context, Miss Phelps, as a petitioner, was more or less in opposition to my role. Holy shit. To represent in any fashion that I was counsel to Miss Phelps or her current husband, Paul, now unfortunately for him, reduced to being juror number 1, is a misrepresentation. Whether I was an attorney of record in Miss Phelps' divorce case is an objective fact, easily confirmed from the divorce case docket, demonstrating that I was never counsel to anyone involved in this present case, least of all juror number 1 or his present wife. Can I ask you a question, Ethan Shapiro? Why the hell didn't you check the docket? Like, did you check the docket to see if Salisbury was actually the attorney of record in the case, or did you just decide, fuck it, just say so? We'll just say that happened. God, my camera. I need to figure out how to make it stay where I want it. Ugh, keeps on moving. Stop it. Did you check? Because it seems like something you can do as an attorney. You can just go check the docket. Weird that you didn't do that. Demonstrating, so it's easily confirmed from the divorce case docket that I was never counsel to anyone involved in this present case, least of all juror number 1 or his present wife. I respectfully request that this court acknowledge in any orders issued out of this circumstance that I have completed my duties as an officer of the court by notifying the court of this intentional misrepresentation by defense counsel. If any effort to review the divorce case docket had been undertaken, which clearly wasn't, let alone contacting me as I would hope counsel would do, if nothing more than a common courtesy, so they didn't ask her either. Defense counsel could have easily confirmed that the undersigned attorney was never counsel to, nor the attorney of record, or in any way the legal representative of juror number 1's wife, previously known as Yolanda Phelps in a divorce case. Any review of the record, or even that trial docket, will show that neither party was represented by counsel. This fact could not be any clearer. The undersigned counsel has never represented juror number 1's wife or juror number 1 in any capacity whatsoever at any time. Based on my best memory, the undersigned counsel has never even met juror number 1. Further, I have never met juror number 1, Paul's wife, Yolanda, other than is indicated herein. Okay. And then we have, I think I did look over this. So there are transcripts about this when this happened. So there's transcripts of that. We don't need to go through all of that. We were there. We heard it. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Exhibit B. I don't know why we're looking at isn't this the docket? Case. Oh, this is the case docket that will show that there were no attorneys on file, or that she wasn't the attorney on file. So let's see. Attorney, and the attorneys are redacted on here. It looks like they were whited out, or they didn't have attorneys. I'm not sure, but it's clearly right there on the docket. Okay. All right. Pretty clear that Deborah Salisbury says none of this ever happened. I do know Reddit's been pretty down about this. They're like, this was very sloppy. I'm sorry, I didn't do my Reddit voice.
This is very sloppy. Are we worried about this? Maybe we should be worried about this. It's very sloppy.
Yeah, it is very sloppy, but that's what you get when you take your legal cues from Reddit. Oh, neither one had a lawyer in divorce court. Okay, so they weren't represented by counsel. How can he quash that? How can Judge Carroll quash this? Well, pretty easily.
Denied. Sit down.
But I don't think he'll do it. Maybe we should be calling them the bus stop lawyers because they keep taking their legal advice from Reddit, which is not advisable. It's just not advisable. All right, what else do we have to do? Was there anything else that we had to do? Let me check the docket, see if there's anything else. Anything new? It doesn't look like it. We have the motion to strike and for sanctions. We already read that. A lot of exhibits that I don't know what they are. I think we're caught up. Okay. So tomorrow, I don't know. It's the hearing is supposed to start at 3. In fact, let's look at that because I do see. Oh yeah, civil hearing set for January 3rd at 3 p.m. in courtroom 2A. That will be tomorrow at 3. I will definitely cover that. So I don't think I'll be streaming in the morning. I will be streaming in the afternoon. We'll do that at 3. And hopefully there will be cameras in the courtroom. I'm not seeing a media order. Although that should be in here if they're allowing cameras in the courtroom. But I'm not seeing an order for media, but maybe they just haven't filed it yet. It's possible. The judge did not say no cameras. He actually said it would be on camera. He said it would be. We kind of talked about that when he said it. It was like, oh. As a journalist, I'm all in. Like, I want it on camera. As a member of the public concerned about jury intimidation, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I don't know. I'll talk to Scott and find out what the details are because you guys are confusing me. I can't rely on the chat for accurate information where this is where cameras in the courtroom are concerned. Okay. All right. I think that's it for me today. I don't think I have anything else to go over with you guys unless you guys have any questions. I'm checking locals and Rumble. Nick likes the soup, says Reddit recognizing that the research is bad and sloppy, but blaming the defense for it is just prime Reddit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff will probably be uploaded to the docket tonight. If anything like big happens, maybe I'll stream it. Oh yeah, okay, so here's here's some of Reddit's observations. This is funny. See if I can make this bigger. All right, here we go.
Are there any law tubers who agree with Jay Hatch's motions about juror number 1? I would love to hear their opinion. All the law tubers we discussed here seem to think defense motions are ridiculous at best and undermining the entire jury system at worst, especially sharing juror number 1's address and asking to forensically go through their phones, which would scare me. Keep running into this question from other places, and it really gives me pause. And some of those law tubers I respect, though many are a hard no for me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when all the law tubers are telling you the same thing, you can pretty much bank on it being a fact. This is absolutely going to chill the First Amendment rights of jurors. Will you ever, if you do serve on a jury, will you ever go public afterwards to be interviewed? So it's chilling the First Amendment rights of jurors to speak out. I guarantee you anybody serving on a jury who knows about this is never going to contact the press after this and never going to tell people that they were on a jury, because this is just terrifying what this team of lawyers can do to you.
asked some of my lawyer friends their opinions and they agreed. A juror can speak to whomever they want after the trial, and there's no law barring family members to opine and go to trial unless she spoke with a juror before the verdict, even if we don't like it.
Funny how Reddit is suddenly getting the message. Like, this is really bad what Jay Hatch's lawyers did. It's really bad. It's going to affect our jury system for years to come, if not forever. If not forever. Why do they not care about this? It's incredible to me. They're single-handedly destroying our jury system. They're chilling the free speech of not only potential juror members, but the public itself. Public who is interested in trials, who wants to cover trials, who maybe wants to go and watch trials. Now you can be pulled into post-trial motions by a pissed-off defense team that lost. Ooh, what's this? Haha. Here's some more shit on Reddit.
I think we were unofficially hired a week ago. People should never underestimate true crime Redditors, LMAO. This should be sent to defense and they need to investigate. Per Shapiro's email back to me today, they are looking into it and think it's an example of jury tampering.
It's more evidence that they're using Reddit as their own little private legal research firm of attack dogs. So they think they're deputized is right. That's the impression that Reddit got. Good Lord. Yeah, I am not a fan of Reddit and the toxic environment over there. And I think that they need to come to Jesus meeting to decide, like, hey, is this really a good idea? What they're doing and what we're supporting? Because you want to talk about jury intimidation? Everything they have done has been about jury intimidation here. Laura Bronson says, did you find the GPS mention? Yes, it was in the subpoena that went to the juror to haul him into court. They published the GPS unredacted location of where the juror was. Vince, thanks for the super chat, says we have an SC justice that can't define woman. We have a Supreme Court justice that can't define woman. That's true. And she is one, which is weird. What else? Anybody else have any other questions or anything? Anyone? To appear. Someone in chat says a lawyer has filed a notice to appear for juror number 1. Can you look that up? I don't see that on the docket, but that doesn't mean that it isn't there. I see supplemental exhibits in support of response post-trial motions, which we just read. Reconsideration of scope of juror interview, which we read, and a bunch of exhibits. I don't see, well, maybe it's way down here. Subpoena returned, served, juror number 1. I would expect that it would be after that, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, a lawyer entering, but that doesn't mean it's not there. There's a lot of stuff here. So I'm not seeing that one. So I don't know. Did you hear that podcast chick did a podcast with Sally Smith? I heard that it was going to happen. I haven't listened to it. I really don't want to hear Sally Smith defending herself and all the shit that she's done to people. There are so many families who say they've been falsely accused of child abuse by Sally Smith that I think there's too much smoke for there not to be fire. Plus, we've seen how she behaved in this case, which we all saw as irresponsible and false. So I mean, maybe I'll listen to that. I don't know. Will they show juror number 1 on screen? I don't know. That's a question. That's a good question. I think it's a terrible idea, but probably. Patty says, I've been walking around because my Android Watch Fitbit Inspire 3 reminded me to move. Also did a few squats per your enthusiasm. Well, good for you, Patty. Way to work off the holiday junk food. Because we've all been indulging quite a bit. And now I keep bringing it up, and now I just want to go hit the cheese ball in the refrigerator. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I am going to go oversee the chores, though, that are supposed to be going on in my house. See how much of it actually got done. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll do the hearing live. If something is filed overnight, and I need to go over it before the hearing, I'll do that either tonight or tomorrow morning is possible. But I think you guys are all pretty much done with your questions. Chickens, yeah, I got to make sure they got fed and got their corn and all that stuff. There's one chicken that's not looking good in there. She's got like a wound on her wing, and I'm not sure if she got pecked or she just injured herself. I don't know. But the baby chickens, the young ones that are now growing up, they're taking over. They're pushing out the older hens, and there's been some fighting. And there's just nothing I can do about that. It's just the strong ones are going to survive. It's just the way of the world. But these chickens are for real serious. A Hernandez update. I don't have an update right now, other than they have been contacted by some organizations that I think could do some good, and they're talking to other lawyers and things. So things are happening, but it's very difficult over the holidays to get anything done. So just keep on calling, though, using the call sheet that we have. Keep on calling the governor. Keep on calling the senators and the representatives, because we need that. We need people to pay attention to the Hernandez case and what's happening there. If you want to catch up on the Hernandez case, make sure you go back through my lives. There are several Hernandez family. It's a medical kidnapping in Georgia. Plenty of live streams to catch up on. Yeah, literally henpecked. There's a reason why henpecked is a thing. It's pretty brutal. I hope she makes it. She used to be. See, the thing is, though, the chicken they're doing it to, when they were little, she was the biggest bitch to them. She was constantly pecking at them. And I always told her to stop it when I was in there. I was like, you better stop that, because they're going to outnumber you soon. And now that they have outnumbered her, they're going for her hard. So that's what happens. They grow up, they get bigger. Be careful what you do. Careful which chickens you pick on. I feel kind of bad for her because she used to be the favorite, but now I've noticed she's getting no protection from the rooster at all. She's eating last. She's at the bottom of the chain now. And she used to be the rooster's favorite. So not anymore. It's a bizarre little world in there in the hen house. It's a whole other universe that's going on. Next to our universe is going this whole like chicken universe. It's a whole soap opera in there. Yeah, the runt is now the alpha. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Was the injured chicken visited by J. Hatch staff or attorneys? I should find out. Yeah, chicken hierarchy is complicated, and there's like nothing you can do but just leave them alone to figure it out. I did happen to catch a great thing on video. I think I shared it with locals ages ago. When the new rooster was brought in, he was young, but he was fully grown, but young. And he had to go head to head with the lead hen because they had been used to having no rooster for a while. And the lead hen was having none of it. And it took one time. She decided to get uppity with the rooster and try to start stuff with him. And I got it. I just happened to be filming. And he went full alpha on her. And it was so funny. He knocked her ass right into a water barrel, right into their water thing. And she got all wet and she got out of there and she was like, yep, I'm done. I'm done. And then he was in charge after that. So it was funny. Yeah, as the egg turns, the young and the featherless. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. All right. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Make sure you go over to meganfox.locals.com. Obviously, all the first information will be posted over there, anything that's coming up. Notifications, if you want to get notifications to the show, you got to do it over there. There are YouTube screws around with my notifications, and you guys don't get them. So go to meganfox.locals.com, sign up, use promo code MAYA, MAYA, all uppercase for a discount. It's only $5 a month. You'll get a free month when you use my promo code. And I'm out of here. Take care, you guys. Be nice to one another. Join the community over on Locals. We're having so much fun over there. So until next time, until tomorrow, or maybe tonight, we'll see you later. All right, I gotta find my outro. Where is it? Where's my show end? Oh, there it is. All right, guys. See ya.
Lost, my world is near its end. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. Oh, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. This time I know my road is near its end. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. And my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say. No, I don't wanna say goodbye.
So I take it that you've
Johnny's problem
seen
is he
Cameron
should
John's
come
bedroom
storming
before.
in there with
Yeah.
a string of
Do you
garlic
recall what
and
he
some
went
holy
into
water.
Mr.
And a
Judson's
cross,
first
a crucifix
bedroom?
one.
May the
Do you
power of
recall,
Christ
or no,
compel you.
No, I don't.
He realized his house was infested with
Just after
succubuses.
that,
And
there's a photo you're looking of what it, yes. Do you
Suck
recall
you
what that was
loaders.
there when you arrived in the afternoon? I don't remember seeing it now. So while baby,
No wonder he said drown her before you burn her.
Oh my god.
You-
Your next witness?
Now I know
Witness
why
for
you wanted to
Melanie
drown her.
Glacis, and that
Next
is
witness
also
lives in
by
Romania.
video.
Is that correct?
That begins with Miss Vasquez.